actually go pretty quick. This pack might actually go pretty quick.
Call meeting order, it's now 7:01. First order of business is roll call.
Norman Schrader,
Here.
Roberta Hamby, Lorenzo Macias,
Here.
Terry Mitchell,
Here.
Carrie Young, Ms. Kay Young, here, Lisa Schultz. Here.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is gonna be a public hearing, but before we get into the public hearing, I'd like to ask y'all to respect the person that's talking, that's got the floor at the time, let them get their point across. And then when it's your turn, then you can get your point across, and we'll have a lot quieter, more effective meeting. So, if we get people that get trouble with each other, we're gonna ask them to eject you and, if you do it more than once, we get you out, let you out, and do it again, we're gonna keep you out. But we're just trying to have a peaceful meeting, and we give everybody a chance to talk. So, see where this tax rate will raise $59,010 maintenance and operations and last year's tax rate. The tax rate will be raised by 18.59% and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by approximately $59.10. $59.10, 1 cent really. Anyhow, although we had a hurricane and all our lump brush off that we had, and we didn't get to get it all, we're going to have spent, when we get the final bill, about $240,000+ to get it cleaned up. And that pretty much took all of the money that we had in reserve. And so that's why we got some of it bumped back, so we can get some of the money back in there, because if you have if you have a freeze, or you have any other incident, water well, or anything that goes that, we have to have funds to fix it. We don't have any debt for debt service, but we've been managing to pay for everything. So that's, a lot of that stuff is built into this. And I guess we're asking y'all to work with us and try to understand why we're having to do it. Anybody have any, you got something out there, do you have any questions on it?
Yes, have we looked at making any budget cuts at all with anything? I mean, I assume y'all have exhausted all places where y'all could cut the budget.
Like, some things you can't cut, but I mean, I understand what you're saying, outside of cutting labor, and we've already talked to our employees about that, you might have to work 32-hour work week. There's some things you just can't cut, like the TCEQ doesn't let you cut anything in the water department, you gotta keep everything up to snuff. You can't see it, hands up.
No, that's fine.
And so just out of curiosity, I know that the governor had declared Brazoria County as a disaster and they were allowing assistance. So was there a process that you guys put in place to request that assistance? Was it ever requested? And so how much was actually allotted to Holiday Lakes for that? Because you're saying you guys are having to come out of reserves, but if they're declaring an assistance, I know many people got FEMA assistance, some people did not. But what happens to that money that the governor allotted?
We didn't get it.
So why wasn't that ever filed?
It isn't filed for what? We have, the damage is brush.
Correct, but you're saying that the cleanup, that, to me, that's considered hurricane
We have to
relief.
pay for it and then file for it to be reimbursed for part of it. 75% of it, maybe we get reimbursed.
So is there an idea that what was allotted for Holiday Lakes? Or it's just kind of like, here's our bill, wait to see and hope that we get reimbursed?
But that's the way it is.
Pretty much.
You expend the money,
Correct.
then you turn it in to them, and if you did everything right, dotted all your i's, crossed everything, keys, everything, and after they scrutinize it for about a month, maybe 2 months, and then if everything's perfect, then they will give you your, it's a 25, 75, split on it, so we gotta come up with 25%, and they would pay 75, if all of that other stuff is done.
So basically what you're saying, there's a cap on what's allotted. It's not like, hey, we need to get this area cleaned up due to
No,
health
it-
risk,
it wasn't that.
hazardous.
It just, that's what it took, that's what we had to spend to clean the town, okay? As much as we could, we spent all our money, we're trying to get some other help.
Reimburse, I understand that.
But then we could get some, if we get some of that money back, then we might be able to go out to a smaller vendor, but it's all on us then, and spend some of that money to get the rest of it. But, I can tell you, and I know y'all probably won't believe this, but the spotter, the monitor that follows a big truck to make sure they're getting it loaded right and all that stuff, set up there at the front, he told his boss, which told me, that a lot of people are not going out with brush, a lot of people are coming in with brush and going out empty. So what does that tell you? Somebody's letting them come in, they dump it on the roads, it's gonna get picked up, and it could be.
So isn't that, sorry not to interrupt, but isn't that where the police come in handy and they patrol and they say, hey, you don't live here, or hey, do you live
No,
here to be
people lived
dumping?
here. People lived here, they were bringing it in. We
So
got
that's-
pictures- We got pictures of some of them.
So again, why weren't they cited or said, hey, you can't leave that on the road, or hey, this is not, we're not doing, why wasn't
Can't write a
something
ticket.
sent
People that
out?
showed the picture to me, can't write a ticket, but it's probably in the works.
Yeah, some of it.
I can't do that. All I am is, yeah, it's joked out.
So what happens to the ones that have the debris on the side? What happens to us?
To the ones that still have debris left, that's where we have to work on it when we have the information, enough information, what do you wanna call it? We're trying to find other avenues. In other words, how can we get it picked up now, or do we take it someplace and possibly burn it? Which I know they were doing that for Clute, they burned it over there at, Furnace Materials, they have close to Iron Horse, they have a yard there, and they were burning.
So just to piggyback off of what she said about people burning, so some people have resorted to start burning because it's like, okay, it's an eyesore, A, B, it's hazardous, C, there's critters. I mean, we've moved branches off of our lot and all kinds of stuff came out. One of our cats was missing. I know that's not important, but you know, stuff like that is starting to accumulate. So if we're not allowed, I've known people that have been cited because they're burning. So it's such a double-edged sword, because it's like, we're trying to help the community because that's less cost on you guys, correct?
I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
If you burn, and you burn, like, the rules are saying you don't burn at night, but people are going out there and they're throwing big fires out there, and at night, it's running 12, 15 foot in the air, you know. You can see it for a long ways. Burning stuff that's not supposed to be in there with it, maybe a few shingles, whatever, but puts out black smoke. That's why TCEQ don't want you burning at night. But if you have a fire and you monitor it, you start your fire and you're not infringing on your neighbors, or you're not making smoke go across the road or whatever, which is gonna cause traffic problem. Anywhere in the state of Texas, you can pretty much burn if you're outside of the city limits. But inside the city limits, you're not supposed to burn fire. But we know that we've got so much trees around here that you can have to do something. You can hire a garbage guy, we're not picking them all up. Trees are falling down here constantly, they won't pick them up. So we don't, if you burn responsibly, we have to respond to anybody that's being responsible about burning. If they don't try to burn somebody's house down, burning a bunch of weeds that's been dried out, or, you know, just common sense type of thing. Nobody has bothered anybody in that situation that I'm aware of. But, I've got a lot of stuff, but I've got a lot of room where my stuff's at, and I can burn a whole lot easier than if you're in a crowded space. So, those are the people that we'd have to try to find some means to do something. I don't know, where it's all at. All I know is I got the quote on how much we gonna owe, and I told them we're gonna have to stop, we don't have no money.
So about trees, I haven't started, I got like 3 big oak pecan trees, so if I cut them up, put them on the side of my road, they're never gonna get picked up?
No, they're not gonna get picked up real quick, but they will get picked up.
Yeah, cause I haven't had time to clean it, cause they're down by the creek. So there's big trees and I just ain't got the equipment to get them.
Well, it just takes time for us, we first have to get this joust this windmill we got, and I know you've heard of Don Quixote, but that's what we're doing. We got this one problem ahead of us right now. When we get this paid for and get reimbursed, we'll have more money to do something with. And that's maybe pick up some of it, but that could be in 2 months, 3 months.
So this is money, this money y'all spent was money y'all had saved prior years, and then y'all just wiped out through the hurricane or the freeze, or what's been happening to the rest of the years back? I mean, y'all don't save do y'all spend it all, or
No,
every
it ain't.
year, or y'all get left some, it just stays on the rainy day?
What do you mean the rest of it?
No, every year, like, I mean, we only had, what, one hurricane, a couple freeze, so, I mean.
Does the money roll over
Yeah,
to
money
the next
roll-
year, or you guys get a budget and you have to
Because, I
spend it
mean,
before the end of the year?
it sounds like the
No,
hurricane wiped y'all out.
If there's money that's left, whenever you put a budget, there's a working budget, and then the money that's left over, we put it into a reserve fund.
That's what I'm saying.
And then it builds up, because if you have a water tank, we've already replaced 2 water tanks, replaced motors of the tractors, we've done other stuff, multiple things with that money, and we haven't been in debt since, the last time we had any debt was in 2008 or somewhere there. We paid off this bill, and we haven't been in debt. In the water system, we paid all that stuff off, and we haven't went back into debt. And we've been managed to pay for everything we got to pay for. And so, and then what money's left, and money we get, that's what you call, secured. They gave us money for the roads, but they didn't say we could fix it like they needed to be fixed, and they didn't give us enough money. So that's secured money. It's sitting in an account drawing interest, waiting, and we are working on that to try to get that resolved. And then if it's enough money, then we can get the county to do it with their, what they call force account labor. When we pay taxes, that's something we get back, receive back is the labor and the equipment. But then we have to come up with the money to finish fixing the road. And out of the money they gave us to use, it's not all ours, it's just for us. And then we still got to match on that particular part, 10% of it. So like I said, 10% of $600,000 was the first bid from the county, and they wouldn't accept the county bid back then. And we had to come up with 60,000. But they said, no, we can't do it like that. You gotta do it, you can't fix it, you gotta put it back just like it was, just make it makeshift or whatever. And we kept arguing with them. So anyhow, that money's still sitting in there, and we still have to come up with 10%. So if it was $600,000 8 years ago, it's probably gonna be double that. It's gonna be $1.2 million by now for do the same material. So that's where we're at. We just got that money, but the money's in the bank. But what we had that we spent, or we haven't even spent it yet, we just got that bill pending, and it's pretty much gonna wipe us out. Does somebody in the back have their hand up first?
Yeah, I have 3 things I was talking about. Okay, the first one is, I understand the messages will get picked up, right? But for some of us that did take, into our, responsibility, it was our yard, we took it and we burned what we had, right? So why is it that we're having to pay for what other people don't wanna do? That's one point. And another point is, okay, if this tax increase does go into effect to, put that money back. So after that money is put back, our tax is gonna come back down, or are they gonna stay the same as well? I mean, see what I'm saying?
Well, taxes are never gonna go down. Taxes gonna go only one way. They'll either hold for a long time or they'll go up, because everything, the cost of living goes up. Your electricity's going up, your food goes up, gasoline goes up, everything goes up, and everything it takes to operate this city keeps going up. So we try to stay with it. But when you have a big incident like this, you have to take a pretty good hit to get caught back up. But yeah, if you have everything you need to make everything function, yeah, taxes won't go up all that fast. But we're a small city, and out of the other cities around, like I can give you an instance. You go online and you can look this up yourself. Go to the tax website. Bailey's Prairie is a little bitty town. You don't think much of it, but I think it's got $90 million worth of tax base. Jones Creek got $100-something million worth of base. Surfside, $509 million worth of base. So the higher the base, the less your tax rate is, because it's spread out between more people. Holiday Lakes started out at 30 million, we're down around 29 million something. So that's why our taxes are higher, because you have all the wants and everybody got all the needs and everything, but you don't have the tax base to support it without getting up, you know, it's $1.25, $1.50. Well, it's been as high as $1.48, but it's come down as the tax went up. Everybody wants the roads, everybody wants better garbage, everybody wants this, everybody wants streetlights, everybody wants the streetlights on the house, and all that stuff. All that costs money, and then it's continuously going up on the electric bill. And I know the electric bill's fixing to go up again because they're put in for a rate increase for the delivery of it, and it's probably going to be higher than the cost of electricity, because they're improving, because the storm blew down all their poles and they're putting back a better pole, they're putting back fiberglass poles. Where they are putting them up back out there on 521, 521. But you have all of that stuff, and it hits everybody. It don't just hit Holiday Lakes. It hurts us worse than it does the people with more tax base. I think he was next.
Mr. Mayor, I've got a question. You know, we're talking about the pickup of the trees. Okay, when I had my lot cleared, I had some gentlemen come out. They wanted the lumber. All right, they were willing to pay me for it. I told them, if you'll get it off the land, you can have it. Okay, they cut it into boards, which they make like the seatings for your porch and, you know, things like this. And they came out and sawed all that into the lumber and hauled it off. At no charge to me, because they wanted to pay me originally to do something like this. Why can't we have something like that?
Not that many people want that wood stuff. I mean, it's going to, as many trees that were down. I mean, I tell you what, the last, and we didn't get it all, but we had 10,300 and something cubic yards. 10,381 cubic yards, and we had to stop them because that's where we started running out of money. And that's a lot. That's a lot.
You're right.
And so, and we still got big trees laying around everywhere. I've got
trees laying all in my yard, and I don't even have a tree on my property.
And then, that's true. But there's a lot of them fell into the creek, and the creek is and I can stand in my backyard and look both ways, and I can take pictures, and there's trees all in the creek, backing the water up, and the water is actually higher now. What would normally be down low and inside the bank is out of the bank because they're pumping the water. But there's trees everywhere, and those are hard to get out.
Yes, sir.
And they cause a lot of damage, and it cause floods. But we got trees in the street, and I know that the leaves dry out and create fire hazards. But I mean, we can only do so much. And like I said, some of the stuff we can get, we have to talk to our waste management guy and see what he's going to do for us, because when all this pickup's going on, he didn't pick up nothing in a couple of months, and he's supposed to be picking up. We have a contract with 4 cubic yards for every house that does garbage. 4 cubic yards a month. So you take 4 cubic yards times, just make it easy, 400 people, you got 1,600 cubic yards of debris they could pick up and are paid for it to pick up. Well, they're not picking up, they come out here on the weekend, and they're on Saturday, and they'll pick up 3 loads. And that's a 40-yard box. They pick up 120 yards, and then pocket the rest of it. We've been trying to get them to come out, and I guess we're gonna have to take some sort of legal action. Talk to them and told them we're gonna do something like that, have our lawyers talk, figure out what's going on. But they can come out here and they can pick up some of it. They don't have to try to get it all at once, but they can start picking up some of it and take some of it. We're paying for it. So that's one of the avenues that we got. But then the other avenues is find somebody that will pick it up cheap maybe and take it off and burn it. You have to get a permit to burn that much quantity, and then you have to clean it all up. That's the problem is that if we have a small bunch of brush in your yard and your yard and your yard, we can burn probably that and get away with it, because small brush and small limbs will burn up pretty fast, and so you won't leave a fire at night. When you get these big logs, cut 3 foot, or larger, they don't burn up like that, they burn up slow. And so it's gonna take a while to burn those down, and so it's gonna be a few fires, like they burn trees up when they clear land, they put a noser out there, push them down, light them, and then just leave them, and in about a week, they'll all go away. But that's the only option I know that we have, that if we can do that.
Can I interject?
And
Okay, so you're saying that the reason why you're raising the taxes is to replenish the account, correct?
just to get us back in a safe zone, so like I was saying, if we lose them, and those wells that we have over there now, the pumps in them were replaced, I think, in 2008, I think. All new pipe, all new pumps and everything. If we lose one of them, last time I talked to the guy that does that, said that it could take up to $40,000 to replace the pipe, which is 212 feet deep.
I worked for a water company before, I understand the finance.
And so then we have that, plus there's I think it's a 20 horsepower submersible pump,
But
multi-stage pump.
You're talking about losing money from the hurricane.
It's
correct?
where you spend money that you have for use. You have to have some sort of surplus money to pay for these things when they happen. And so you keep it put up. Well, when we have to pay for this, it's gonna deplete most of that.
Right.
All of it, basically.
So you're.
Until we get reimbursed for some of it, then we'll have a little bit.
So you're gonna justify doing the tax increase before you even know how much money you're getting back?
We know what we're gonna, within a few dollars. If it costs us $240,000 or $250,000, we're gonna get that 75% of it if they take it.
So you don't know?
We don't know for certain, but we know that's the payback. We do know that
So you're
25.
trying to justify how much you're gonna raise the taxes before you even know, correct?
Well, we only have this shot because you have to have it done by now. We can't,
So
we
why?
have deadlines to do that.
Why raise the taxes so much on this go round?
To get being covered in case something like what I just described happens.
Yeah, but you don't know how much you're gonna get back, if you're gonna get 25% of it back or 75%
We
of it
know,
back.
we know we're gonna get 75. We gotta pay 25.
Right, so the 25% y'all have, correct? Is our,
It's already built into what we pay, so all we get back will be 75. Whatever we pay in, then they'll give us that 75%.
okay, so again, I go back, why are you trying to justify how much you're gonna raise the taxes then?
Can I interject?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the reasons why we're looking at this is this past year, we've taken some big hits. We had a tractor that went down, a $40,000 motor had to be put in to backhoe.
I work on tractors every day.
Okay, so you understand where we're coming from. We've had those hits, we've had some financial hits during audits and, some other issues that we've had to cover.
What kind of audits?
Financial audit, we've got that going on.
Such as?
The yearly audit that has to be done, it hadn't been done in 3 years.
Why is that?
Well, for one was COVID, another was some other issues with personnel, and.
Do you always get?
I'm sorry, I'm just playing devil advocate.
No, I understand. I
I've
just
been
wanna
out
make
here for
sure I
over a
answer your
year.
questions correctly, okay?
So all this has been taking place and nothing has been done then?
Yes, oh yeah, we're getting there, but
But
it's still
this is-
hitting the budget, it's
this
still
is
hitting the
yearly.
money that we had in reserve.
A yearly audit is supposed to be yearly, not
Yes, it
every year.
is. And we're
So-
behind because some things we're not taking, well,
So-
we've not done correctly
Whose
with,
fault was that?
well, I'm not saying whose fault it is, but I'm telling you that it was being corrected.
Well, it's
And
gotta
we're
be
trying
somebody's
to,
fault.
well, we're trying to fix a mistake.
I feel like if you guys are being audited, who's auditing you guys? Because it's, I mean, you're saying there's financial issues, there's personnel issues, when is that gonna be made public to us? Like, you're telling us there's all these issues that are coming up, when do we get to see the list? Like, hey, we had to pay $1,500 for a tax attorney, we had to pay a CPA to come and do our audit. Like, where do we see, cause I mean, basically, from my understanding is running the city, I know it's probably a lot harder than what it sounds, it's a checkbook, you have this much money and you gotta make it work off of this. Mayor said that keeping the roads fixed, keeping lights on, I feel like that's basic necessities for a town. I don't think that there's anything spectacular, and I think pretty much everybody would agree with me. There's nothing spectacular going on here that justifies us raising taxes. I understand that you guys took a hit, but that has nothing to do with us. The way that you guys handle money has nothing to do with us, but yet we're the middleman having to pay the
I
increase.
agree, we should be responsible for y'all there.
For you guys' mishap, because people are auditing you, but who's keeping track of what you guys are doing?
The auditor.
Exactly, but who's coming on a daily basis, or who is, you know, besides the mayor or whoever, we don't know how many times, who spends what time in the office. You know, somebody can do something underhanded, who's watching them? That's the big picture that we're looking at.
I come from a
Understand.
family of a multi-million-dollar businesses. So I'm not an idiot when it comes to this. This is why I'm asking the questions I have.
The problem, we think, it was some
Somebody's gotta be held responsible in the end. You're saying there hasn't been
And
an audit
the
for
easiest
years,
thing is
so
for
who-
to be to us, and that's kind of not fair, because it's like, again, these are not our problems. We're here paying our taxes, we live, I don't think that there's a lot of, you know, I could be wrong, but I don't feel like there's enough in here to where, oh, well, we have to pay this, that, and the other because of X, Y, and Z. That has nothing to do with us.
So the auditor was responsible for making sure things got audited, but they didn't get audited, correct?
He was trying to,
So who's responsible for the auditor?
the auditor is responsible to the state, but,
But who is over the auditor?
the city council is. And it was brought to the attention that there were some issues with the finances.
And the city council thought not to take upon
Not
action?
city council,
So you just said the city council is responsible.
but there's certain people in the city council that brought it to the attention.
So why?
And
did
when
the
I
rest
was
of the
brought to,
committee-
well, I'll just tell you, when it was brought to my attention,
Mhm.
it was taken care of, it was covered. And then we had some other things that weren't taken care of that had to be corrected before the auditor could do his job,
Such as?
such as 941s.
Okay, but every year in y'all's budget, it's in there for the auditors. So what happened to the money last year, the year before last?
If you haven't used the audit.
It was paid for the auditor to do what he was doing.
If he didn't audit.
He was auditing.
But not
So, you said
No.
that every year you gotta be audited, you're still paying the guy that's not coming out here doing the
We're
audit.
still paying for the audit, even though it's not being done.
It is being done, he is working on it.
No,
I would
my,
pay
Okay,
the
so
steps.
we've had 3 years and it wasn't being done?
The audit has not been completed in 3 years, maybe I need to back up. He has been working on the system
How often does that audit have to be reported to the state?
every year.
So why hasn't that gotten done?
Because I just explained, there were some issues, the 941s. Do you know what 941s are?
No, I don't. But
Okay,
who-
so let me tell you, 941s are what the employees are being paid.
Mhm.
Okay, so if that's not reported correctly, then there was an issue.
Okay.
So therefore, he could not complete his audit for that year until that was corrected.
So who was over the auditor? Whose job is that to be over the
Whose
auditor?
job is it for the issue the 941?
Whose job?
Yeah.
It was the
You hired
city
him.
secretary at that time.
Okay, so I mean,
the city
back,
secretary had signed off on.
yes, there has to be somebody to sign that off to.
No.
No?
They do not.
So everyone can just basically write a paycheck for themselves and no one has to prove
that's
it
not what I'm
otherwise.
saying. The 941s has to be turned into the IRS.
Okay.
And it
Who
comes
is
from the report.
responsible Besides the board to make sure the auditor gets his job done?
He is.
council.
Council.
So why wasn't it done?
I mean, do y'all not see these?
Who's
these
responsible
941s
for
when they come into
it?
y'all?
So the entire council is responsible for it, correct?
He comes, when he.
So does the state need to come out with a state auditor to audit the city?
No, not until we get ours completed
Because
and
it's what
turned
it's starting to
in.
sound like is that
And whenever
there's
it gets
embezzlement.
turned in, if there's an issue,
No
they
money
will
missing.
come out, the state will come out.
Well,
But
why doesn't the state come out? Why don't y'all report it to the state saying, this is what's going on? Who's covering up for
It was
who?
reported to
nobody's
the
covering up
attorney-
for anybody. I
to
tell
our
you that
DA.
right now, I have no reason to cover up.
It
So
was
why hasn't
turned
this
over
been
to the
done?
DA to look and see if there was any malfeasance going on.
There has been a report to the DA?
Yeah, and they had
Yes.
sent a, high-powered investigator out here, he looked at everything, and then he said, the only thing he can see is sloppy bookkeeping.
Okay, who is the DA over this, so that the rest of us could know and find out on ourselves if everything's being
What
followed?
we got right now, I don't know what the assistant's name is.
Who has it anyway?
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out why this,
That's
why
fine.
the taxes
No,
are being
we
raised.
understand. We're just trying to make sure that if something happens, we have the money to cover what we need to cover. And not, and it's, the money's in the bank. It's not that we're misappropriating funds. I mean, you can go and you can see the bank statements if you want.
I'm not
All you
saying the
gotta
money
do-
wasn't in the bank, I was saying, what was the justification for raising the taxes so high?
But we're just trying to make sure that y'all are taken care of.
So why not just go half of what you're proposing right now instead of that full amount? Because you already know you're gonna get 75% of that back, correct?
Yes,
We hope.
yes.
Hope or yes?
Yes or no?
No, it's not a given. I mean, it's just
Well,
like
I'm
we've
getting
been
two
working
different
with
answers.
FEMA
I'm
since
getting- we're
2016.
We're being told, yes, we're gonna get 75%, and then we're saying.
Well,
we
it
can't.
just, it's like anything else. FEMA gives you the money, they say we're gonna give you this amount of money. And you try to make sure that you dot your i's and cross your t's.
Mhm.
But if they come in and there's a hiccup, it's delayed.
I know about grant writing, I've worked with.
Okay,
various-
so then you know if there's a hiccup, and there could be another hiccup, and there
So
could be another
Who's doing the
hiccup.
writing for this?
For what? I'm sorry? For the grants? Or
For the
what?
money to come back, cause you're saying all the Ts have to be crossed, all the Is have to be dotted.
The money, once
So who's
the
going, who's
invoices,
going over that for that to go to the state?
the mayor, it's,
We had to get a contract written to pick the brush up. We were in the process of trying to do that when the first storm come in, boom. And so we had to go with the county, through interlocal agreement with the county through purchasing. And they already went out and did all the, advertising for bid, RFPs and everything. They got all these proposals. And then they picked, out of those proposals, they picked two people, or two groups of people. They had 5 groups. They picked 2 people, organizations, to clean up. And so, talking. So anyhow, after they gave us that, then we talked to the TDM, which is Texas Division of Emergency Management, and they talked, they're our link between them and FEMA. We talked to them about using that interlocal, and it even tells you it's good to do that because it saves money for everybody. But you have to go through the process. So the process is that we had to get them to write a contract, and then everybody reviewed it, and everybody that is in the powers above us, and they all said, yeah, it looks like it's good to go, so we did that contract. Now, the only thing is, if FEMA comes in and looks at it, and looking behind it, and they don't like something, they can possibly say, no, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, or whatever. But more than likely, they won't say that, but, I mean, there's always that possibility. Just like I said, on these roads, the money we got for the roads, they want us to just go in there and chop it up and try to do it one way with not enough money. And we've been arguing about trying to change the scope of the work where we can just fix one good road, fix the roads up, but get where we can get everybody in there. But they are balking on that. They said, no, we're not gonna give you no more money, you just got what you got, and that's it. So that's the same thing they can do on anything else. Anything that they're in, that they got their fingers in, can be a nightmare trying to get the paperwork through. So it could be a long time before, it could be 6 months, it could be 2 months or 1 month. We'll know more, well, tomorrow. The woman's coming back, our PMG program, our monitor, our person that's working with us, they call them a PMG, project maintenance group, whatever. But anyhow, if she looks at it and says everything looks good, whatever, then it's probably, it could happen quick. But this is not the only disaster in the United States. So they got lots of people, but it's a disaster all the way from every time a hurricane goes up, it's following everybody. So they're all busy. So how long it's gonna take, I don't know. I mean, you know, if you've been watching the news, everything's tore from Louisiana all the way up.
I don't watch news, I don't watch TV, I'm sorry, I don't even use Facebook, I hate phones, I hate technology.
Well, that's okay.
But
Let him finish first.
audits, I understand very well. I was a government auditor for 4 years for the military, so I know about the audits. I may not know everything specific, such as you, for the cities, because I was government. But I'm trying to figure out where this money's going, why is it going here, why are you asking for so much? I propose, you know, just talk to y'all, why not just ask for half of what you're asking for now?
I don't know if you call it that much, whenever you look at it, about 18 cents, it's 18 cents.
My contracts were multi-million-dollar contracts that I had to have.
You're looking at
You're
18
talking-
cent tax rate increase, 18 cents.
So talking about contracts, okay, I have a question for everybody here.
Wait, let him finish first. We already said we're gonna be respectful of the people that's got the floor.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, that's why it's going up, and because the tax base is so low, just to get some money back, if we don't have the money and they come through and say, okay, we got to August 25th to do something with the road money, we have to have 10% of whatever it's gonna cost. But if we don't have 10%, so we just lose all that money. What if we have another storm and we don't have our 25%, or whatever they pick at that time to cover it? We don't have no money. What we gonna do? We're gonna go out and go into debt service. And if we get a debt service, 4/5 of the council would have to vote for it. But if we get debt service, then that locks you into whatever the payback is. If it's a 20-year note for $200,000, you know, or whatever it is, then that's what it'd be. It'd be at 5.8, 5.9% interest. And so you'll be paying it back longer. And so all we're trying to do is just build up a little bit of reserve, so if those things happen, then we'll have the means to do it. But if we don't do it, and it happens, then y'all be jumping on us for not having it.
Well, the reason why I'm only suggesting half, not the full amount, because if you go for the full amount, you're gonna have, and excuse my language, you're gonna have a whole lot of pissed off residents, a whole lot. And then you're looking at losing residents because you raise the tax rate so high. People are not gonna wanna stay on holiday. I like it out here. It's peaceful. Compared to crap that I've been through, I like it out here. I love it. I've talked to my
We've
wife
been looking about buying out here.
property out here, so we can build and raise our family out here. But raising the tax rates that much more in one go-round seems a bit much. I've said my piece, thank y'all for listening.
Well,
We appreciate, that's why we're having this, so that we can get the community's input in it. But we want y'all to understand too where we're coming from and what we're trying to do. I mean, a lot of people say, well, we don't mow. Well, yeah, we're trying to get there. Our roads are horrible, we know that. But some of us on here have worked really hard to get those roads to where they are now. I know the storm has come in and it's destroyed a lot, but a lot was done with grants. And I was gonna say a while ago, the debris, I have reached out to our county commissioner to see if he can offer any assistance to help us get our town cleaned back up. And having said that, people out here have got to clean up too.
I agree 100%.
You know, we
I've
have.
drove around the neighborhood and I've seen exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and we have grass this high where people can mow. I mean, if you need help, all you gotta do, most everybody out here knows where I live.
That we've got people close by us
That-
and the grass is 6 feet tall, literally, I'm not kidding.
I understand. Go down Creekside or over here and I'm gonna get to you in just a moment. And, you know, yeah, we have a lot of work to do, but it's just not on us. It's on everybody. Everybody has to work together. We've got to go out there, and if your neighbor can't get out and mow their yard, why can't we get out and help them?
Okay, so now that being said, I have a question for everybody. How many of y'all do y'all know a contractor in town? I'm sure a lot of us are contractors in here. And the city did not even ask a single contractor if they're willing to get the job to clean up. We have a lot of trailers in town, and the city is okay with paying $200,000 from an outsider. Why not helping the city? Why not let them know? Hey, I can get together with him and him and him and somebody more, and we can all get it done, easy. And for that amount of money, trust me, we'll get the job, okay? That's my first question. Then I have many more.
Certain things you have to go through the government to do.
We don't mind, we're working legally all the way.
I understand.
But you're paying $300,000 as an outsider, and then and we have to pay for that without you asking if we're willing to do it?
I've talked to you before.
No, I don't know about the contract.
Yeah.
Well, nobody ring on my door, nobody sent me a message, and
In
I didn't
fact,
see it
are you-
on any website.
I stopped by your house one time before.
Sure,
You didn't help
that's
me.
one thing. So, I'm sure, none of us were aware of that. The city took their decision. Good.
We had to. It wasn't a choice.
Why you don't answer about it?
It was not a choice. There's certain,
There's
that's what I'm
choices.
saying.
We don't care. We don't live in here. We don't care for the town.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Okay, so I guess what you're saying is that you have a legal business. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, no, I'm not trying to offend anybody, no quería ofender, okay, no me está preguntando.
Did
I'm just asking, I'm not trying to offend him, I'm just asking a question, because there's a lot of contractors in here. So, have you came up here and given a bid? Have they accepted a bid?
No, because I didn't know that was going on.
It's because
And how many of y'all, how many of all of us knew about it? Answer.
Well, can I say something, sir? I mean, we all saw the debris out there. Yeah, you could come in here and say, hey, can we help? Did we get that here?
Because if I come here and tell you that I want to help, you don't wanna pay me, but you're willing to pay somebody else. That's the problem. That's the problem of this conversation, my friend.
No, the problem is,
No, sir,
Well,
that's the truth.
to get reimbursed, we have to go through somebody that's registered with SAM.gov, somebody that works with, guaranteed and works with the government. And we have to use a contractor like that, that's got all the stuff, all the scrutiny and everything,
Okay, so.
to be able to get reimbursed. And so
Okay, I
if we-
guarantee the contractor that is cleaning right now is gonna go to his house with the money in his pocket. And we have to end up putting it up, little by little, however it counts. But I'm sure he's gonna get paid when he finishes. That's how it works. Contracts work the same way everywhere we go to work. City, county, houses, whatever. That's how it works. And you're not gonna tell me the opposite, or him or someone at the more, because this is how it works.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I was told by the guy that monitors the truck. He said, sit up there in the front, wait for the truck when he goes out to deliver, that he was, watched trailer after trailer come in here, was loaded down with brush.
Okay?
Big brush, not little
Okay.
brush, not little twigs, but big trees. And so they going out empty, so where were they putting that?
Okay, how many officers are working for the city?
What?
How many officers are working for the city?
How many police officers?
How many officers
Yes,
during the
sir.
day?
Then what are they doing? Because I see so many. Let them do their job.
They're reserved.
Find out who's taking trash where and give them a ticket. Even if it's me, I don't care, or it's whoever. I'm willing to pay. I have told everybody of y'all that I'm willing to pay. If I go in and out, one of my trailers full, come in and gets out. Full, not empty. I have 2 little lots, not enough to put shit.
Well, that's what he told me anyway.
But we don't have to pay the broken place for everybody.
But the man that come out here with me from the DRC, the debris pickup guy, we went around, we looked at all the debris. And we estimated, and he estimated, and we did an estimate too, we estimated 3,500 cubic yards. I doubled it just because of what might still be out there. So it went to 7,000 cubic yards, and now we stopped them at 10,380 cubic yards, and there's still stuff laying out there. They were seen hauling green leaves out of here after it had been down for 2 months on trees that somebody had stacked out there on the side of the road in his path to clean up. So somebody's clearing their lots for free and letting us pick up the tab.
How many somebody's?
But the neighbors won't tell.
How many? Then what are the cities doing?
I don't know. All I
Is the
know
police all doing their job, or just sitting over there, or smoking over there, or just chilling on the truck? I mean, I'm sure they're getting paid. Because
Not all of
how
them
many
get paid.
officers are on payroll in the city? And how many employees for the city? For do everything else, maintenance and stuff. I see a lot of trucks parked out there every day.
We
One
have
go
one
any.
full-time and one part-time police officer.
One too
rest of them
many.
are reserves.
Well, right now we have
All of
three.
them are reserved.
And I'm
They're not
just one
getting-
behind, there's
Oh,
four.
I know, I was a police officer. I understand.
Hey, you wanna sit up here?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Come on, I'll let you to that.
And we don't have to have so many officers. We need a couple of them, but if they be running around and driving to every single road and so on, what's going on?
That
What's
patrol,
going on? I mean, everybody knows that they're not doing their job right.
yeah, but maybe.
We have one full-time and one part-time officer being paid.
So
That's
if
it.
you stay over there in town, if you stay over there in town and grab my truck and drive around, I guarantee I see more than what they see.
No, she's
I
not.
guarantee you that, and then I can prove you with pictures and whatever you need. But I'm not an officer, and I don't really do this, I don't care, but I just don't like to see things around.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But we have to go with it.
I didn't say that.
So I tell you what, I'm gonna put some people on my payroll, and then I'm gonna see what you see, and then I'm gonna get it. That's what you said, everybody's sitting on that chair.
Do you think I get paid for sitting up here?
I'm not saying that you get paid, you do that position for a reason, they're trying to do it right.
That's right, in 2006, I got.
But you
on
don't
that.
say it is what it is, come on.
It's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter. It is very
It's a
intense.
serious matter, and nobody's doing nothing about it.
You're wrong.
Okay.
He's wrong.
No, but
Ask everybody on this side.
we're the taxpayers, and this is what it's more of us. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 of y'all. So 6 of y'all are gonna decide that our taxes get to go up. Everybody is saying, no, we don't want this. But you're still gonna go ahead and do it anyway, or what? I mean, how do we decide that? How do we say, hey, we don't want it, that's it, this is the last conversation we're
Go to
having?
vote.
Yeah.
Well, let's vote. Who votes for a tax increase? Raise your hand. Nobody, exactly. So why are we still having this
Nobody's gonna
conversation?
vote to raise taxes. I mean, that's.
Well, I mean, so explain to us what's gonna happen. Do y'all still decide, hey, we're gonna do it anyway? We're all saying, no, we don't want it. So what's the holdup? What's,
Does it
I
have
mean,
to stay the same?
you see what I'm saying?
So, there's already taxes in effect for what's supposed
Correct.
to go into effect, clearly, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when they posted it in the newspaper last week, they have to post it 4 weeks. So it gives them a range of from like 82 cents up to, I got here late, I'm sorry, but I was here the last week. Up to what, $1.12? Was it
No, it's, what it was 1.062524.
Okay,
The proposed, proposed, not what it has to be,
yes ma'am,
is 1.230850.
1.23, so 23 cents.
Well, it's 18 cents.
Okay, so what they can do is they can leave it at what we voted for it to be, or it can go to a vote to where everybody has to go to the city, to Angleton, and vote for it or against it. Am I correct or not? Okay, so explain to me. Because that's what my understanding was, that we were gonna have a meeting, if everybody was against it, then it had to go to vote again with the citizens all over to be raised. So is that true or not?
It has to be, put on a ballot to be voted on,
Okay, well, that's what my question,
yes.
before it can be raised.
And then we have to pay for an election.
So whether we decide if it goes up or not, our council, our vote don't matter.
Yes, sir, it does matter.
No, it don't matter, I mean.
Yes, it does matter. That's why we have a public hearing, so we can talk to y'all and we can get the input.
Yeah, we're having a
Just a
vote.
minute.
We're having a vote, and I understand that, right? Well, what are we doing here is not gonna change the fact that our taxes will be raised.
Yeah, it's, I mean, that's
Are
why
you-
we're
are you telling
listening
me
to
us being
you.
here to change the fact that our taxes will be raised? I
Well,
mean,
we're
be honest with
listening.
me.
We're listening to you and then we'll make a vote on if we're gonna raise it
Okay,
that
who's-
much
who's
or
we?
less.
Okay, who's we?
The council. The council makes the vote.
There again, Do y'all have the final vote? I think what he's trying to say. Do y'all have the final vote?
So it's up to y'all.
Yeah, that don't make no sense.
We're can it go to a ballot to where we can go and vote for it?
Yes, if y'all petition.
So we have to do a petition, and if y'all vote to raise it, then somebody would have to go around with the petition and have everybody in here sign the petition for it to be put on a ballot for us to go and vote for it.
I'm up for it, I can go there.
Man, how many votes would we need to just?
Get everybody's signature from down.
You won't cancel it.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, someone is asking a question, can we please?
My job. Okay.
Just a moment, thank you.
Okay, as for his question about, the they don't post, y'all never really post, a job opening or anything, like when it came up, position for city secretary or city, employees or anything, y'all never post anything, y'all not an equal opportunity employer. When, maintenance positions came up or anything, y'all just hired y'all's friends, like, when, yes,
I did
ma'am,
not.
like, Norman did, the mayor, he's the one that hires friends. The position that came up when y'all fired, Cindy, city secretary positions, y'all hire who y'all wanna hire, it doesn't come up. And when y'all, like, for this guy that's up here, the gentleman that served in the United States, whatever he served in, he says that, the positions that come open or stuff like that, like I said, y'all hire who y'all gonna hire and stuff. And then my other question is, on the police department, how much, do y'all pay for police insurance?
For who?
Through
How much are y'all
T-Close.
paying for police insurance?
How much is for the insurance for T-Close, for the police officers? Julie, do you know?
The insurance.
Like the insurance, we only pay
Let me go get on the computer so I can get your answers.
You're asking for the reserve ones?
Yeah, for everybody, for police insurance, for the reserves, yes, because they're.
Okay, can you put that in writing for us and we'll get that answer back to you within, how many working days? Is it 10 working days, and I'll make sure you get that to Stella?
Yes, because, the police officers, they don't patrol, and here, they're patrolling like in Galveston or Freeport, Surfside, instead of patrolling here, because y'all said, how many officers do we got?
1.5.
No, on reserves.
Reserves is 27 total.
Okay, because why do we have so many reserves? If we have that many reserves, they should be patrolling here if we're covering their insurance. I mean,
We're
why,
not.
if they go and have an accident in Freeport, we're the ones that are gonna have to pay for that, for them, because they're under our insurance.
Oh.
Ma'am.
No,
All
Yes,
the
ma'am.
reserves.
You're liable. Yes.
Because
You only
they're
have
using
so
our
many
insurance
reserves
and they're
working at one
using
time.
our,
Correct.
like in Freeport, when
But
they
some
were in
people don't
Freeport, they
understand.
said, what,
She was
what?
just talking though.
Yeah,
She's
she's
ignoring it.
Yeah,
She's
and
still talking.
when they were in Freeport, that officer asked them, that camera guy asked them, what, police department you work for, she said Holiday Lakes. And if she gets in an accident, somebody kills her, what department were you working for, Holiday Lakes? And it's true, because she's using the insurance for Holiday Lakes, they're using the credentials for Holiday Lakes. And if something happens, we're gonna get.
Totally different. Yes, sir. But, if you would, please put it in writing and give it to Julie, and she'll get that information to you
Okay, but
within
I'm not
10
getting
working
charged
days.
for that, am I? Because now you're charging everybody 25 cents a pay, and I shouldn't have to pay for that.
Or you can bring a new disc up here and she can put it on there.
Okay, but
Now, we
I'd rather-
cannot use
I'd rather
disc
it be
anymore
said at the next
because
meeting.
of cyber.
I'd rather you
Flash
say it at
drives.
the next
Yep.
meeting.
Security.
But law
I'd
enforcement
rather it
insurance
be
you're
said at the
asking
next
for,
meeting, so it can.
Yeah.
$1,500 a year.
$1,500 a year is what we pay.
It didn't matter if, and it never has changed with
So it's
one officer,
$1,500,
2 officers, or 10 officers.
That's
Okay,
for
so
the
why-
reserves and everybody.
So if it's not benefiting them for anything, why are we paying for their insurance?
Because that's what T-Close says.
Okay, so we shouldn't even have to do it, so that we don't need all these reserves, I mean, if they're not even, patrolling every day, so why do we need them?
They are only required to work so many hours
Okay,
a
and,
month.
okay, and also on Chief, Torres, why is he even still on our website as home webpage as Chief Torres, if he's not even supposed to be here when our chief of police has if he trespasses here, he's gonna get arrested. Why is he even
He's
there?
not the chief.
He doesn't even come here. He's
This is a
assistant chief, I'm
request.
sorry.
It is what it is.
Assistant chief, why is he even on our webpage? He's not allowed to be on property or he'll get arrested.
No.
That's what.
That's what,
That's what, what do you call it, it was on tape that mysteriously disappeared.
I don't know about that, Mr. Cavallo, but I will check on it. Yes, sir, and then, yes, sir.
Yeah, I've got a question. You said you had, one and a half police officers, right?
Yes.
Plus 20 reserves. I worked in a city that was $1.5 million in debt. In debt. All right, there was 2 of us. No reserves, 2 officers. We worked 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. The 2 years, in 2 years, we had that $1.5 million debt paid off because they were in debt on gas. I don't know where the leak was. It was, the city had natural gas everywhere, but somehow or another they got $1.5 million in debt. 2 officers in 2 years paid that debt by writing citations. Where's the problem? This is what I want to know. You know, I don't have and didn't have any buddies. You know, I know you. I know Norman, okay? But when it came to my work, there were no friends, okay? You got a citation. At that time, the mayor where I worked at was the judge. Because we had no city judge. We couldn't afford a city judge. Okay? And yeah, I've got my little rear end raked over the coals for a few things I had to say. You know, which I will not go into in this area right now.
Well.
But I wrote my citations. Okay? The mayor, judge, whichever at that time, took and saw that those citations were real. I wrote no what we call feather-legged citations to anybody. Okay? None whatsoever. If you come up and stop, but you didn't stop at full 5 seconds at that stop sign, I didn't write that. Okay? But now you have an inspection sticker that is expired. You jump out of the car and look at me and say, what in the did you stop me for? Yes, I'm sorry, but you're fixing to get a citation for this. Then it's up to the judge to make that decision, whether it was good or not, especially if it's already 3 months out of expiration. You know?
There's a lot to learn. I mean, we all learn
There
every
is
day.
a lot to learn.
But there's a lot
But
of
like
new
I
laws.
said, you know, you have officers, and I'm not saying any of these are those people. I'm really not saying that. But don't look for friends because you've got none.
Yeah.
All right? You have none. They don't like you to start with. Now you've done stopped them, and they really don't like you anymore. You know, and because I'm not going to invite you to the next barbecue or party or whatever I have out there, get ready for this. I didn't want to go anyway. I've been called on my phone, I've been cussed out, and everything else when I wore that uniform, but I wore it proudly. All right?
Okay.
And that's the way it's got to be. You got to get used to this. You're not going to have
We get
friends.
tickets. I don't want nobody up here
You
yelling at me
know,
'cause
I
got a
don't
ticket.
want to pay a citation myself. But I have, and I told the officer honestly, DPS trooper usually, Yes, I was speeding, and I apologize for it, but I still got that citation. All right.
I'm not a law officer, I'm not there, but I do know that they have certain laws and regulations they have to follow now. It's not like it was when I was growing up, or others, you know, they have certain things they have to follow. There's,
Oh, yes.
what's
Yeah,
the
you
report
can't get into a fight, somebody pull out a cell phone and start recording.
I'm trying to figure it out.
A good 3 minutes into the fight.
Where you don't discriminate against, what's it called?
The Sandra Blair Act.
No, it's another, there's another one that they have to follow, and it's a state report they have to do every year about targeting certain,
So many contacts.
Thank you, yes,
But
that's
that
it.
doesn't mean you can't give citations.
Correct, but I mean, there's certain things that you've got to be careful with, as you know, as being an officer.
Former.
How, formal,
Former.
yes.
Well, I was an officer back in the old days. I mean, if you wanted to go toe to toe, I'd step out there and go toe to toe with you. All right? And ladies and gentlemen there on the police department, you know, I understand they have something to shoot anymore. You know, I have an LPC. 95% of the time, if you stop me, I do not have a weapon with me.
Okay. And you had a question?
Between both of them, they hit the subject, so we're good.
Okay, are you sure?
I just think that instead of, you know, y'all raising taxes, stuff like that, we should find solutions, like the gentleman said, you know, hey, we have 21 reserves, hey, let's fix that.
There's so many
You know,
leaks in the town.
Let's fix
There's
that.
so
Hey,
many leaks. It's like in a business, you have to run
This
it
gentleman
right.
had a point, you know, hey, you know, we're all contractors out here, you know, hey, we can help out, there's no issue, you know what I'm saying? Even among us, you know what I'm saying? Help the community out.
So, okay, so we
Let's
can get a
find-
list
let's
of
find
people?
I'll give you this.
I got your phone number. You're already on the
Let's
list.
find, like I said, let's find solutions to this. I mean, first thing I wanna do is raise taxes. Hey, if someone's not doing their job in council or in here, anywhere,
It's just
hey,
unfair.
get rid of them. There's just, you know, they're just there for a paycheck.
I'm not gonna go back a long time ago, but when we got on council here in 2006, this city had zero money in the bank. No money. I mean, it was a deficit, $376,000 at that time. The water plant, the Texas Water Board was fixing to come in and take over because the reserve account for that was depleted. Why didn't they? Because when we were elected, we got in and we made, some of us put our own name on the dotted line to keep the city from going under.
What I mean by that is that the state was gonna come in and take over something.
They paid for it.
No, what they would do, what the water board would have done, they would have come in and they would have raised your water bill so much that you couldn't afford it. No, you take a time now, you should have seen. I'm sorry?
I got a shitty ass, sorry ass house, I mean, not sorry, but it's not, and I'm paying $1,800, and y'all gonna talk about raising milk from
Come pay my taxes.
What was that?
Yeah. He's talking about the water bill? You're talking about the water bill?
No, I'm talking about
Let's talk about taxes.
Like I said, I mean, if it's an easier situation to get somebody to come here from county, government,
So they either, he said that he had, it was your turn, Mayor said.
Go ahead, everybody been talking.
We are all struggling. You know what my personal reserves are? Not much. I don't know about anybody else, but the storm and everything else affected us too. And like you said, between house taxes, gas, groceries, everything else, we're all struggling too. So, I mean, but here, y'all say y'all are gonna arbitrarily raise your taxes without asking or letting us vote. I disagree. I believe we need to start a petition. Because personally, I mean, sometimes I have to choose between gas and food. And, or whatever, or, I don't get everything I want, but we're all struggling too. And y'all lucky to have a reserve, but mine is darn short. And I'm sorry, that's all I gotta say, you know, we are all struggling.
Amen.
So if y'all vote on this, I'm sorry, I mean, that's a quick term. Is this something that can be tabled, or are we just gonna have to go forward with it? So if y'all vote yes, then we have to do a petition.
To save the money, in other words, to go out with the county when they bill out for the taxes, we have to get it turned in to Kristen, by the 1st of October, well, before.
So even,
But if we
okay,
don't have to
so-
vote for this tonight, we can, I mean, we can go back to the other one, but then if we don't have enough money to meet the bills, then we're gonna lose a lot of, you know, our part. We're gonna lose it, but we just lose the rest of it.
How much does the city spend a month?
I don't know, if your house is bad, it's pretty much, if your
How
house
much?
is bad,
It's easy to do math. How much does the city spend a month?
can't understand.
How much does the city expend a month?
What is the
What are the
city's
expenses?
Expenses a month.
It used to be around 38,000.
Right now, how much?
It's probably, I don't know. Yeah, and payroll's 30-something, but,
30-something, what is it though?
but then you
Hey,
have
$1,000 I can do a vote.
electric bill, electric bill. It's $1,200 a month. Straight back to you. It's all in here.
Back to my question, so if y'all vote on it tonight, if y'all vote on it tonight to pass it, so you say you have people, let me get my understanding, because when I listen here, these people are here because those people that wanna know. So, if y'all vote on it tonight for the higher amount, it has to be turned in by October 1st. So if we go and we petition it, then when do we have to have to petition it? How's that gonna change it?
You vote, if you
Because I can guarantee you
if
there's
you
gonna be a
call
lot of
for an
people that
election,
sign that's gonna wanna vote on
if you
it.
call for an election and you get the election, and you go down there and you vote it down, then it converts back to $1.06.
Okay,
But
so,
that election's gonna cost $8,000.
well, that's what y'all are gonna, the city has to pay, right?
Yeah.
The $8,000.
Yes.
So, I mean, they're asking to leave it at least this year. If you leave it this year, and you come back next year and you say, okay, well, you know what, we were $20,000 or $30,000 short, because we did the roads and we did this, then maybe, you know, even me, I'd be like, okay, well, I pay a lot of taxes too.
Yeah.
You know, then there's, you can see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
So, if nothing happens to the water plant or anything like that, we just have that money sitting there, year after year after year?
Yeah.
Can we get it back?
If you get to a certain spot where you don't need it, or y'all don't have an improvement y'all wanna do, or.
I mean,
Drop the tax.
you know what I'm saying, like, we're seeing it everywhere, I mean, these people here, they're out here doing it because, yeah, you're charging taxes, and, yeah, I mean, by all means, I don't mind, if y'all wanna go up, but I want to see something being done.
I think everybody.
You know what I'm saying, you got roads, you got this front road, man, I mean, hell, you know, y'all not to have a big thing.
I think we all complain for the same reason.
Y'all got potholes everywhere, it's bad, you know, we know it's bad, you know, and I understand what everybody do, I mean, hell, y'all got a backhoe sitting there, y'all got a backhoe sitting
$3,000 for a
there.
load of asphalt to put in the potholes. We put it in the potholes, it rains on it, they come by real fast, blow it right back there. We put 4 or 5 truckloads of asphalt in these holes, and every time we do, they get blown right back out. You get a little water.
My mayor, I've done that before, I don't have to work in the construction section, it ain't gonna come off But yeah, y'all go out there and y'all get the company outside of here.
I tell you what, there's gonna be an election in a few months. You come up here and you take it, and you take the reins, and you do what everybody's like y'all out here tell us, we don't do nothing, we don't do nothing. You come up here and you take the reins and you
No, with all due
figure
respect,
out.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I know you.
I'm sure there's a lot of us willing to take somebody else's chair out there.
I wanna go
If there's
from
no
point A to
change,
point B, see
if
what
there's no
all the
change out there,
I'm ready,
I don't
I'm ready.
think they're gonna change
In
anytime soon.
I mean, and I'm, with all due respect, like I said, I
You
know,
may.
but.
Put your name on the, put
You
your
wanna
name
go
on
up the
the,
ring?
put your name on the line. It's
At
gonna
the
be.
end of the day, y'all represent us, I mean, y'all are supposed to be, I mean, the way it started a long time ago is so that not everybody goes up to an office or whatever, they would pick certain people to go represent what the people want, and the people don't want this increase. See what I'm saying? I mean, you're supposed to be sitting there and represent each and every one of them.
Like I said,
It sounds like you're not representing us, you're representing what's better for you know, for the city. See, I mean, that's where my understanding is kind of off. I mean, you're supposed to represent us.
I would like to just say it.
So are the people want to keep it as is, or
Keep it as is.
Keep it as is.
But then,
We can
okay,
vote.
so my
We can vote.
question is, Mr. Macias and I are discussing a little bit. If we keep it at the rate it is now, can we depend on y'all
To help out.
to help us?
As long as.
Yeah, okay.
We'll keep it as is.
I know the city gets money from every disaster. As long as the city is willing to hire administrator, he can hire us, we will. Because of my understanding, the city always wants help, but not pay. We're willing to take every single contract that the city is looking for, as long as we get paid also. Maybe not the highest, but we will. As long as we cover our stuff, our expenses, trust me, we will. But yeah, it's business. The city is a business, we're a business. If we own a business, hey, we can make a big corporation. We
Okay.
can flow.
So we're gonna be flowing next year.
There is, I'll get to y'all, give me just a second. There is certain laws that municipalities have to follow. One of them is if it's over a certain amount, we have to go out for bids. We can't just give it to you because we like you, okay? I'm not saying I like you. But you understand what I'm saying. So if we did that and we went out and we got, yeah, so if we go out and we do get those bids, then we have to have 3, but over $50,000, you either have to be part of a co-op or it has to go through an engineer. Okay? That's the law. That's not. Okay. So, you know, those are some of the things we have to look at. But like I said, if this is what the citizens want, then we're gonna need y'all support in getting this done. It's not just, and I don't mean this ugly, y'all just come to a meeting and start yelling at us. Yeah, some of you are. So, but I'm just saying, if we agree that we're gonna do this and y'all are gonna help us, then maybe we can move forward. But then next year, when y'all come in and y'all take over, and you see that we did not have enough money to cover our expenses, then you're gonna understand where we're coming from.
That's understandable.
You gotta go?
So I got a question. So y'all, were y'all, I got a question. So did y'all get several bids for the trash to get picked up, the trees get picked up? Did y'all have several bids?
We went to, I told you earlier, a process where we have interlocal agreement with purchasing the county. They had 5 contractors selected, and we got to select out of the 2 that were mobilized, yes.
No, but did the town of Housing Lakes do their own bid, or y'all just, you just said you went to county and got their
They
bid?
come out here, and,
So y'all just got one bid, y'all just went and picked out of the group and say, you gonna come do this, or how'd y'all do it?
they did this, the county, through interlocal agreement, select the people. And
They
so
selected.
They selected the people through the bid process, and we, through an interlocal agreement that we had, and it was okayed by TDM and FEMA, for us to use, they did the what do you call it, pre-bid stuff. They picked these people, and so then we had to select from the people that was picked.
From the county, but we're not county, we're town, we're town of Housing Lakes.
But it's still, we used them because they already went through the process.
So why can't we use county to
We
fix all
didn't
our
use
roads
it.
and stuff like that?
We're trying, they ain't got that.
Exactly, so why can't we use county to fix our roads? If we can't, if we're low on budget, why can't we use county? So we use them for everything else.
But we can't use it for roads.
Because, I've been living here 20 years. I have not seen no roads repaired besides the roads y'all did up far in the back. Y'all did some catch bases back there, and y'all repaired some little roads made some driveways that I
The road was
asked.
put in
Oh, that's a
nineteen eighty-six.
Drainage system, but yeah, we got this drainage
That's a
system.
drainage.
Yeah, so it was done back here, that's good, you know, we need better drainage. I live off Creekside Drive. I've been saying to get my ditch clean. My culvert's about that much from the ditch. I've been here 20 years. 20 years, I ain't seen it done. So like I said, I know we had money 20 years ago, somewhat.
No, we didn't have no money 20 years ago.
Okay, so where'd our money go? You know? You know, I've been here 20 years, no roads has been fixed, like everybody says. People get bent rims on these potholes. I mean, I always do is come and patch it and be done with it. If we do it right the first time, I've always said, I work in the industry of refinery. You fix it right the first time, you ain't gotta worry about it, fix it again. You know? That's my thing. I'll fix it right the first time, I don't have to, but if you keep on patching it, it's doing no good.
Well, that's why we
And we're
haven't
wasting
been
money.
able to. That's why we haven't been able to, because FEMA says, you're gonna fix this, you're gonna jump over 20 feet, you're gonna fix this hole, you're gonna jump over 20 feet again, and you're gonna fix that hole. Well, we ain't able to. No, but what the thing is, what we asked FEMA to do is to let us take that money, because county was gonna help us, hopefully they still will, they were going to do the whole road and not just patch the road. But it was, just a moment, but it was that FEMA would not approve us to spend the money for that. So we held off, and now my understanding is they have approved us to do that, to fix the whole road, but they're only gonna let us use that amount of money that they gave us. And that was how many years ago?
So what happens to that money
60.
then?
It's in the bank.
Well, then we.
So what do we use it? So why can't we use it?
But we can't just go out. We gotta make an agreement with the county to come out and help us.
So,
You can subcontract it out.
so what's holding you up from getting with the county, you know? The money's there, is it the county don't wanna do it for that amount of money, or?
No, the county was only gonna charge us for labor and equipment.
Oh, no material cost?
But, no. We have to pay the cost for material, and as you know, Creekside right here, that was done a few years ago that the city paid for. That was
But
not a grant,
yeah, just a piece.
just a piece.
Right,
But
right, I
that
think all the
little
way up
piece
to your
right
house,
there,
to Frankie's house, I think it stopped right there.
before my house, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, that was $66,000 just in material,
that's a lot of money.
just then.
That's a
That
lot
was
of money.
then.
I
So
agree.
you go figure, how far is $600,000 gonna go now? How far?
You gotta come down to the view.
Yeah, 60,000, what got you
Give
up
me
there?
the run around and I'll do the measurements and I'll figure it out and I can tell you how much it's gonna
You know, it's,
We already
that's
know it. It's on a spreadsheet. Everything's there.
Yeah, but what we're trying to say is that you gotta open up your options. You know, just because the county says they're not gonna charge you, they're gonna charge you labor and equipment, hell, they might, you know, double up on it. And you're over there going with them, yeah, okay, they're making their money, no one's gonna wanna lose.
No, we don't pay them.
You know, huh?
We don't pay them.
Okay, well, no, well, that's what I'm saying, if you're not paying them, then you should have that money in the bank still, right?
Yeah, we have $600,000 still in the
Okay,
bank.
so then let's start looking, let's start looking where we need to put it, which is first things off, I think, the roads and the ditches. You start putting that out, okay? Get some bids, don't get 2 bids, get 3, 4 bids, you know? Don't just settle with that, you know, I'm a contractor, I'm not the only one that goes and bids, I got 5, 6 others, 7 contractors out there, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta compete with them, hey, the best person that does the quality work gets it. It ain't cheap, yeah, we might not pay the cheapest, but guess what? We're gonna get quality work, like he says, you do it right the first time, so you gotta worry about it for another 3,
That's
4,
why
5 years.
Creekside's like it is, because we did it right the first
Yeah,
time
look
we
at
put
this
the
one.
lime on there,
Right here, and
more so than what they told us we had to.
And look at this one right here, I mean,
This
keep
is,
on putting a Band-Aid, if you keep on putting a Band-Aid on it, it's just messing up, you know?
thank you, that's not a favorite word, putting a Band-Aid.
That's what you're doing.
Yes, no, it's not.
Well, I mean, no, it is, man, you gotta be realistic, but that's what you're doing out here.
Okay, so I'm
Like this gentleman
gonna,
said.
you're gonna get with me,
I'll get with you where.
I'm on the roads, I do the roads.
Okay, we
You
got a
get
backhoe
with
in
me.
there, we got a backhoe in there. I'll get you an operator, we did have the ditches, why are we waiting for county? We know the elevation, we know the IE elevation, let's go out there, you got a backhoe there.
There's people out here that rent equipment, that you're able to do. I got a skid steer, you know, hey, we're able, rent me out, you know?
As a contractor, we can all team up and we'll get it done, easy.
You're relying on the county. The county ain't gonna deal with you.
You're relying on them, why don't we just go back to county?
Why you're trying to fight there? Why you're trying to fight there?
You have fun.
Yeah, like I said, I got a brand new backhoe sitting there. Well, it's working. And can you tell me all this week, how many times has it been moved? It's been sitting there, so we're just paying that.
Hunter's Point has the road fixed because they're depending on the county, not on the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hunter's Point is nice road, I got my bike over there because I love it.
Yeah, have you been over there lately? Have you been over on Long Pond where they just redid that road? And see all the cracks already on it? Because they didn't do it correctly?
Yeah, but it's probably better than this, man. We got bumps, we got tires.
Okay, I want your name and number, and you and I will meet up, and I already have his number. So, that's one thing we were gonna do before the storm. We were gonna get a committee together, and we were going around, and we were gonna identify homes and areas that people that aren't able to clean their property. I don't mean go in and clean, what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is go in and mow and help them clean up, because we have some families that aren't able to do that, and we need to go out and help them. Oh, excuse me, I mow my ditch.
That's yours.
And I know other people that see that are mowing their ditches too. That's just being lazy.
Okay, this lady over here had her.
Yeah, they got some.
Can y'all address her, please?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I just wanted to know if the FEMA money was like directed towards just roads, or was it like the cul-de-sacs that were not supposed to be done? Because,
No.
so,
That's
they said
another
all
grant.
roads be done except the cul-de-sac.
No, whenever that first started, we could only get grants to upgrade. The roads were junk. We come in, the ones that were done with grant money through Community Development Block Grant, it's $130,000 now, I think. But
I mean, I'm just
when
saying,
the roads were built
14
now,
years for my road to be done, and then after the flood, FEMA came in and said they gave grant money.
Not
And
for-
then my road was not done, with every other road done, and then now
Wasn't
my road's
included.
still not done. Now we have another grant that has got passed, and I'm still waiting for my road to be done, my street. And I'm the only one that was down there at first, and now I have several people living there, so.
it's on the list.
I don't see how FEMA said, do all the town.
It
and
wasn't
not
all the
cul-de-sac.
roads. It wasn't all the roads. It was just the ones that were damaged.
But mine was damaged.
But yours
Mine is
wasn't
still damaged.
blacktop.
It's like, it's causing my car I mean, if you go down my street, you'll see that, Norman, you know, that's your sister's street. When you go down there, my car is hitting the street, cause it's so deep. And I can't even get like limestone coming in there to fill that gap.
It probably didn't have no blacktop, but it had some kind of material.
No,
Some
it
kind of
was
material,
concrete.
some
It
base.
didn't have material.
No, that
Nothing.
didn't? Yeah.
I brought in material.
Oh, okay.
I brought in the material.
Yeah, so she
Because
should
they
be.
told me that I couldn't even have my driveway done, even though I own the whole street. I couldn't have my driveway done because the city owned it. So I couldn't even do my whole driveway.
Oh,
So I left it alone.
Yeah.
And I'm just like still waiting on it to be done.
That road, your road and several other cul-de-sacs or guys like that turned into the county on $130,000 grant. Come in and asphalt,
That was FEMA money.
What?
I thought it was supposed to be, that was FEMA money, because all the
No,
other.
FEMA didn't give
that
us
was
any
FEMA
money for
money.
unimproved roads. They just come around on it, that's all you gotta do. They would not give money on unimproved roads. I can guarantee that. Eskimo Pass. But that road is already scheduled to be paved. It's like basketball courts, never been paved. All of those that haven't been paved, all those courts, scheduled to be paved.
Alright, so can I bring material on the street so that my car is not damaged? Because I was told by the city I could not, because it belongs to the city.
I'll have to go see it and see what you need. I haven't, nobody's, I
Is
haven't
there-
heard it, first
is
I've
there
heard of it
driveway?
tonight. First I've heard of it tonight.
Huh?
It's the first I've heard of it. My sister.
I brought it
told me
up the last meeting, and then
before.
6 or 7 for that, Gino's. Yes, I've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah, because we've been working on the grant through the community
Yes,
development
you
block
called
grant.
me on it
Yes.
several times.
Yes, and we're still in the process. I mean, it's a process, it's not something, thank you. So if anybody else wants to help us, here's a piece of paper, and write your name and your phone number, Adrian. And, I'll be in contact with you, and we'll set up a meeting so we can get some of this stuff taken care of. No, you're fine, okay.
Yes, Norman, when I first moved out here, like most people, I made a pretty good salary, all right? I was medically forced into retirement, all right? Which doesn't even pay half of what I used to make. You know, and now we're wanting to go up on taxes. Everything I was paying out was pretty much well set on what I brought in from work. Okay, and like I said, well, just for instance, I you know, gross through the year, anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 a year. Okay, now I make $24,000 a year. I have to cut that soap blooming close, and then we're gonna go up on taxes. You know, you're hurting. You're killing me. You know, because I don't have that kind of money to spend anymore. I don't get it every year.
I understand, I'm in the same boat.
Go on, I figured you would, you know?
Okay, so.
But, you know, you take from what I made to what I'm getting now, you know, and I paid in Social Security since I was 14 years old. I'm 71 now.
Anybody else?
And it's all I can do to make my water payments, my electric payments, my car payments. You know, plus I have to have insurance on everything. You know? So, yeah, I mean, taxes would kill me. You know, I mean, it doesn't sound like that much. But, you know, when you're living day to day,
I hear you.
you know.
Can I propose like a solution the way they said, instead of trying to raise the taxes, can we try to do something like before we raise the taxes? Can we get like a common ground where, like you said, you don't want people burning because you don't want them to burn, you know, household trash, all this. Well, if there's a spot where y'all can, where it's common ground where people can bring their debris or whatever there, and then burn it there from certain times or whatever, instead of having to pay these people $200, whatever y'all said. Can there be a common ground where everybody can bring a little bit at a time at their own pace and burn it all in one pile?
I agree with you on that 100%, but we need to do it before we have another storm and figure out where we're gonna do it, so we'll have it ready, so we don't have to be robbed like that. But we have to have it picked out and all, and you're gonna have to have a permit. You'll have to have a permit from TCEQ to burn that large volume of stuff. And then if you can get that set aside and prepared, then you can do something like that. But when you get stuck, boom, where it is, and you gotta deal with it in a fast pace, this is what you
That's what I'm
need.
saying though, can that be an option before we raise the taxes? There shouldn't, I mean,
Well,
there should be some, you know,
taxes,
options.
the taxes is money spent already. So if we don't put it back and something happens, we just leave it. If we go down to one pump, we just leave it alone, and y'all just start restricting water, or what do we do?
Yep, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's all I'm getting. I'm just giving y'all the option to figure out, in other words, what do we do if and I guarantee you.
No.
It's kinda like my
you'll
wife,
want a
says, every
certain
time she
amount
starts
of
talking
animal.
about something, it breaks.
Because
So are we able to have water wells out here? Are we able to have water wells out here?
Not anymore.
Do we have them?
If
Are
you're,
we able to have water wells out here?
Yeah, water.
Yeah, what was?
Water.
they're personal, no,
What's the
only if
reason
you're
for-
grandfathered in.
I don't know, why do we?
Why would you want a water well?
Because we have a public water
$10,000 and you go walk
system.
at 50 of them?
Exactly, no, exactly.
Yeah, but the water system, yeah, but the water system not filtered right, man. Your levels on your water system are way off, man. And
They've
it's,
been down here tested and everything is
In
good
this
with
town, to drill a water well,
TCEQ.
you can't, you gotta have so many people.
I know,
Yeah.
I
I
know.
guarantee you.
it's corroded my pictures, it comes out brown. I mean, it's just, I mean, if
Where
I
do
see
you
y'all drink
live?
it, I'll drink it.
Where do you live?
I live right down the road from Creekside.
I know, but where?
Right down where Igloo and Creekside be.
Oh, on the corner?
Yeah, no, not in the corner. Yeah, on across the
When you
street.
cross the street,
On the
the
two-story
gray
house.
two-story house.
No, it's not green. I haven't painted it yet. So.
Well, that's the side of it, right, gray.
Great, yeah, great.
Yeah, gray.
Yeah.
I try to put people where they
It's
live.
just-
So, anyway, I'm gonna say.
Mayor, I think, the people spoke, we decided we're gonna go ahead, stay with we are. And then we
Yeah,
just go on.
I don't think because the water level is so off.
If we make it, then if we have to take out a loan, we have to take out a
Yeah.
loan.
Well,
So,
It's
if
submitted.
that's what's submitted.
So we're gonna make a
And
motion.
then you make a
we're gonna
motion?
close the public hearing.
Okay, so, yeah.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing because the community has spoken and we decided to keep the taxes as is. We're gonna move forward and I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion is made, Lorenzo seconded by Lisa.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
to close the public hearing, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ms. Kay? Aye, yay, aye.
Okay.
Ms. Deesa?
Not right now. Yes.
Yay? No?
Yes.
Okay, next item on
So
the
did it
agenda.
pass? I mean, what
Yes.
y'all did, because I couldn't hear, 'cause I thought she said nay, and I didn't hear Mr. Terry.
Who said no?
Didn't you say nay?
Oh, no.
No, she
Seconded.
seconded it.
Oh, okay, my bad. Pardon you, my bad.
With all the people talking, I know it is.
Yeah.
The next item on the agenda is the adopt the budget for fiscal year 2024-25. After y'all determine what the tax rate is.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, we approve the budget for fiscal year 2024-2025 as presented.
With the tax rate.
With the tax rate of, you want me to read the tax rate?
Yeah, that's what everybody's hearing.
At, the effective tax rate at 1.062524. I'll second it.
Okay. Motion was made, Denise Schultz, and seconded by Kay Young, to approve the budget with the effective tax rate at 1.062524. And you don't really set it here, you just approve the budget, but then the next one you'll have to set it again. So anyhow, the budget is made up of this $59,000 and go down to about 25,000.
Yeah, but we gotta have that number, right? So
Well-
what's that number?
We'll have to go put it, calculate it. But the tax rate's all you really gotta have. What the effective tax rate? It's in there, it's on that. is.
So he's gonna go calculate what, the amount will be that we will, get it. The budget will raise more revenue from property taxes than last year's. So he's gonna go and calculate what the percentage would be for us. So it'll be just a few minutes. Because I was gonna go by and see him about this, two-story yellow house up here. That the lady has cancer. Who is that, Julie? Amber?
I mean, not everything has to be negative. I mean, we were just trying to, express our, but I mean, if there is something that people can volunteer on, hey, I need extra hands. I mean, I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, if there's some, I need a helping hand, I mean, just, y'all can just call, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are willing to help.
Yeah. I'm getting old.
Hey, don't get old.
Oh, man, I know.
Let me tell you something, it ain't working.
It's always been my dream to clean up.
Just forward, take a screenshot and forward it to me.
Yeah, I have to check on the insurance number to make sure that if I think it's a volunteer, it will, but it's been a while, so I'm gonna check with, TML to make sure that we can cover whoever is on it, and make sure.
It's nowhere like this.
Grown-ass kids in here arguing.
Welcome to council.
Oh, and don't forget the high school cliques. They have to have all their private conversations during the meeting.
A lot of water bills, but I can't, because I lost my stuff.
Hey.
Thank you.
What is that?
There's some grants that Sabrina.
Why didn't you, I know why.
Okay, so. They give us a whole
What? I don't know what's going on right now.
Everybody wants to talk to money.
I'm helping another citizen at home. Hold on.
Pero vamos a otra, pull it out and
This is definitely going to be edited out. This.
All of this? We haven't even adjourned, where'd everybody go?
Is this better out because of what it's been for y'all?
This has definitely been a better outturn, yes.
Jimmy put before me, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to come up here because I've been sick. And,
That's what she said. She said you weren't going to be here, but Jimbo was.
Or I wasn't sure. And at first I wasn't. I was going to stay home, but I figured this would be easier than dealing with all the kids. So I came up here and I asked him, how full is it? I don't think we're And there's 4 chairs left. I'm like, that's actually a good turnout because usually they only have like a few chairs still. I said it's more empty than there are full chairs. And I told him, so that's a good thing. And I was like, something tells me I need to come up.
Well, you picked a good one to come to. You picked a good one to come to. It got interesting.
Jim was been wanting to come to this since we moved out here. It's just with his schedule and everything. So he won't get off until after 5 o'clock. And then his meeting's just on top of that. So I'm surprised the man's not crying because he didn't get to go do his lines today. So then with it finally drying up, they've been able to finally get those bills in and that's very good. That shit's still out there waiting to go. And as long as there's tractors out, someone has to be in the tractor shop. That means he's got to be there. So he's not looking at his ass. He gets home, he doesn't do it. He showers, he might cook, and then he goes to bed.
I understand that part. But I'm glad he actually came up here because he.
And I'm kind of glad it was canceled because he was really sick last week.
Well, you saw what happened last week, right?
No, I didn't.
Not on Facebook or YouTube.
I see the videos on Facebook. I just haven't had time to watch them.
Okay.
Because I've got the delay I'm dealing with right now. I'm not doing my kids were hurt when they were I've been dealing with a lot. CPS just been dealing with CAC and everything. I haven't had time. Hell, I'm just reappointed this week because my mind is all over the place.
The one I put up for last week's only like 30 minutes long. No, it's under 15 minutes because I didn't know I had to verify my YouTube account to get over 15 minutes. So the one I put up over last week, we had edited down to like, it's like almost 15 minutes long. So it's not that long. The one Sandra put up was the full thing because she got things that happened afterwards also. Hers is like 30. No, it's just Even just stayed up here. After everybody left, he actually stayed up here and got what happened after. Say what? Yeah. He's a friend. That one right over there is because of these. Kay got hers because she gets better. She gets better audio. Yeah, I know. She's getting the audio.
Every time I look at her, it's like I'm making eye contact with the lens.
You said the one was which were you referring to? She's our
we should ask. She's councilwoman number 5. My husband's ball got cut in the thing.
Councilwoman number 5. She's also serving as the mayor pro tem, so if something happens to the mayor, she gets to step into his position. Here's the thing, after every election, they're supposed to vote on which one of them is going to be the mayor pro tem. No, they've always just appointed her.
I've noticed those two pretty much run the whole damn council. No one else has talked.
What?
I said no one else has talked, just those two.
Oh, the mayor knows? Pretty much. Lorenzo's kind of a, he's an okay guy, but strikes me as a yes man. Because he'll agree with citizens. He'll agree with citizens and he'll agree with council on the same subject, even if it's a differing opinion. And then
Miss Kay seems like she's just tired of all this bullshit. She really does. She's tired.
She is, but at the same time, when she does speak up, she's
shut down.
She's shut down. Not just that, when she says, I didn't vote, and they put her down as voting yes anyway.
She's the one who that happened to?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know you told me it happened to someone, I just didn't know who.
Okay.
We just need to listen.
I haven't really had
No, I haven't.
really, but I think it's
I mean, right is right and wrong is wrong.
so why not just go back?
My problem is the instigation. She's being totally asinine.
And they will bring up what they did 30 years ago for this town as if it happened.
I noticed. They're bringing up a lot of things that happened in 2006 and 2008. That's not relative to that. I mean, if we're going to bring up that shit, what about the money for the roads that were supposed to be done after Harvey? We're supposed to trust these people with the money? Why should I hand you my money when I can use that to buy the water that y'all can't supply for us to drink? Why should I hand y'all money to do the roads when you're not fixing them? And this is the third time I've had to replace them right out of my damn truck because of it. It actually broke my ball joint last time. I can't be as nice as my husband though, so I just sit there quietly and squeeze his leg a lot.
No, he did a good job. He made him squirm.
He did, I noticed. And she tried to make him her buddy too. I noticed that too. She's trying to use him for her advantage.
Yeah.
And he didn't play into it too much. He
But see,
just,
one thing that is my pet peeve is always the private conversations they have. They're constantly private conversations.
Oh, I figured he went home.
no, he went outside to smoke and calm down.
Oh.
Should have said something. He'd have gone with you.
Oh, shit.
I would have.
I thought about
You
going out
haven't
and smoking a
missed
cigarette, but I
nothing
didn't
for
think
some odd reason. You got sidetracked.
I get it.
What that, the effective tax rate does, it's gonna raise $7,524 more than we had last year, or 2.37% increase from last year's budget. And, that's 1.062524 rate.
Is this the correct one?
Still have with $9,000
Miss Kay, I'll tell you, I've been up since 3 a.m.
No, it's more.
I'm tired, dude.
524. But it's gonna raise taxes, property taxes. This budget was $7,524.
The way the husbands work, he works 4 days on, 4 days off, and my days are all this rate. They have to let me know that I got cats. This is Saturday, I mean, because he's off.
It is what it is.
Except you have to get up in the morning.
Oh, yeah, 9:30.
I have to leave at 9:15.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, okay.
Can we move on?
So 8:30.
Can we move on
Okay,
already?
so I need to make a motion. No, for the levy, levying of the yeah, but number 5, that was adopting the budget.
Yeah, we're just adopting the budget, we're gonna put this into the tax rate, she's fixing to change that.
The tax rate?
Yeah, she's gonna change it into the ordinance, but it don't matter,
Okay.
you can read it, and we're gonna change it afterwards, it don't matter, it's gonna be the same thing.
Okay, so the levy taxes for the physical year?
We adopted the budget already, right?
Yes. So I'm leveling, I can't say the word. The taxes for fiscal year 2024-2025. This budget will raise more revenue from property taxes than last year's budget by the amount of $7,524, which is a 2.37% increase from last year's budget. The property tax revenue to be raised from new property added to the tax roll this year will be $7,524. Right?
525, but we.
Yeah, I said
Doesn't
525.
matter if it's like-
All right, so I made a motion.
I second.
Lorenzo seconded.
For the tax levy?
Yes. You just did.
Item 5.
Okay, motion was made by Lisa, seconded by Lorenzo to approve the tax levy, 1.0625. With the raising tax, $7,524 more for this year, 2.3% increase. So any other discussion? All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. You got it, and everybody voted for it, so one abstain. So we have to put that in the records and send it to the tax assessor collector.
So in layman's terms, how much did that go up for everybody?
It went down.
It's the same.
Okay.
It went down to 81, if you got $150,000 house, it went down $81.
Okay.
If you have $100,000, it went down $54. If you have $75,000, it went down $40.82. If you have $50,000, it's $27.21.
Can I ask a question? It's not pertaining to this, it's just a question in general. So when they put the, they're building the new schools out here, is that gonna affect us too? With the taxes and stuff? I'm just asking. So next year, is that something that's gonna be in the proposal also because of the school taxes?
Not for us, but for Angleton ISD it will be.
No, I'm just saying, you're gonna higher school taxes, not.
Yeah, and the. Yeah, well, and one thing you have to look at too with them is that they're looking at that, but they've already passed that bond to build that new school.
Yes, ma'am.
So it depends on what the tax assessor comes out and assesses your property at, not for us, but what the appraisal district comes out and says, your property is worth this amount. So according to that, then they will tax you what their tax rate is.
And that's already been passed, I'm pretty sure.
On the last election, it was on the
Before
ballot.
they even
It was
started.
on the ballot.
Yeah, before they even started.
I understand that, I understand it's already been passed, but my question was, is with the taxes, with our taxes going up, since the school tax is gonna go up, our taxes are going to automatically go up also.
Okay, so just a little information for y'all. I just wanna help you. But one of the things you need to look at is to make sure your property and your home is homesteaded.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not, you're gonna pay more. I think it's gone up to $40,000 now, for the homestead that they'll take off of your property taxes, if I'm not mistaken. You need to also, if you don't agree with the amount that they have appraised your property with, you need to protest it. And you need to go and make sure you do that. So, just because they appraise your house as $175,000 doesn't mean that that's what you think your house should be appraised. Take pictures of surrounding, now it's too late this year, to do that because they've already closed it. But next year, because they come out and they do their snapshot in January. Okay, so then starting usually April, May, you get this little paper in the mail that tells you this is your appraisal for your property. And if you protest it, you make sure you fill out your protest and you send it in. Take pictures of your property, take pictures of your surrounding property. If you don't agree, if you got grass, you got a house that has half a roof on it or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not condemning anybody. But just make sure you have that documentation when you go up there and you talk to them. Okay? Because, just because, like I said, they tell you your house is worth this much, is it really worth that much? Or is it worth more? Not that I want you to go and tell them you want more, because then we get more taxes. But you know what I'm saying?
You can
Just-
also go on, what is it, the CAD?
The CAD, yes.
And if you know your neighbor's name, and get, and print them off.
Well, you don't even have to know your neighbor's name. You can actually go to the interactive map, you know, on yours, and then just start typing all the, hitting all the little properties next to them.
Of their stuff. I don't know about everybody else, but my neighbors.
If you're over 65, you got an HK exemption.
I'm sorry?
You're over 65, you said you're 71, have you got your over 65 water HK?
Yes, yes.
That would knock your taxes down to almost nothing.
And make sure y'all's date of birth is on your paperwork at the courthouse, because the elderly lady down the road from me, hers has not been on there since she bought the place. So she hasn't gotten her exemptions for being 65 and over, and she's 82 until last year.
So anyway, I mean, that's just a little FYI, but please make sure your homes are homesteaded, because that is a big thing with Missouri County. So make sure you look on your paperwork and see that you are getting a homestead exemption, because that does make a difference. Anyway, I'll shut up.
It's a good point. A lot of people should be aware of that.
But, you know, there's a lot of people that don't. I mean, we've had a few people here that their places aren't homesteaded. And so, yeah, we understand. It's a lot of money, and especially if the appraisals are real high, and you don't have that. All right, so what are we doing next? How many are going? 6.
Number 6.
I make a motion, we move down to number 14. And go ahead and, do that one, and then we'll go back up to 6.
I'll second that.
To 14?
Yes, yes,
We also
please.
have building. We have to building to
12.
Yeah,
Okay.
number 12 also.
Number 12 also?
Yeah, that's the storage building.
Okay, let's do 12 and 14.
12, 13, 14, with no travel, so get them all out of the way.
All righty, I'm good with that.
Okay. What did he bring to all this stuff?
Yes, sir, there, we gave them all the, information for him. Es para usted, señor Reyes.
So we can tear that all down.
No, he's bringing in the metal storages.
Yeah.
What's a permit, it's for storage.
But that,
One of them, he's bringing 2 permits and 140 yard. And one of them is gonna be like an office, and it's for these.
okay, so the building that's on there, is he gonna tear that down?
That, yes, he is, because you should have this one, that's what he's paying with the storage buildings. That is, the metal. We just paid it. It's like a little sketch, that's.
So this
He's
one
gonna
is
put
gonna
like,
look like,
he's gonna put 2 small ones, and then just gonna do the thing, and then the big 40 one, he's putting it in storage, like big storage stuff.
oh, that looks there, that went there.
So this is something that we were sketching, because there's some
cement right here.
Yeah.
So he's gonna knock that down, put it right there. That's what the mayor asked for, like, to be. But you should have this copy. I don't know mine. Do you want mine?
Scotty Road. That's Scotty Road. Okay.
George.
That's why,
George Road.
George Brown.
That's what he's playing. Huh? So, he, I gotta catch the kids already, and I will let you guys. And one.
I'll enjoy.
That's better than what's there.
Thank you, come again.
And there is water there, and there's also septic, that's existing septic.
Has he had it inspected?
He has, ya lo tiene inspectado la, no. That's been in use, do you still want him to inspect it? Because he has something out there that he's been working on. ¿Cuánto tiempo tiene usando el séptico ahí? ¿Cuánto tiempo tiene yendo para ahí?
There used to be a house there.
Yeah, that's what he said, that there was a house.
The office gonna have a restroom facility?
¿Quieres saber, el señor Becho, que si va a tener baño en la oficina? Yes.
When,
And one of the small 20s, he's gonna do like an office.
in that,
Mhm.
yeah, he needs to have it inspected.
¿Puede
Make
ver
sure.
que lo inspecte right now? El séptico? He said yes. He'll get it
Okay.
inspected.
I like it. I think it's gonna
Let's
look
keep
nice.
saying.
He's gonna be doing for diesel, for mechanic.
Oh, diesel,
okay.
Oh, you don't keep it clean?
That's what he wants to do, just. Yes, that's what he's gonna use the foundation, which is cement. There used to be something there, but he wants to store this because
There used to be a house.
So that's what.
The house was there at one time. Fred's.
Back in the day. He's been there for a while now, though, Mr. Reyes.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, we approve the application for 101 County Road 30 North with the clause that we get a inspection report for the sewer, for the septic. Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay.
Motion made by Lisa, seconded by Kay, to approve the storage building office permit application for 101 County Road 30 North with the exception, I guess, to say that you have to have it inspected, the sewer system, and bring the papers to us.
Cuando lo tiene inspectado, traiga los papeles y le vamos a dar el permiso.
It's gotta pass.
Well, of course.
And then after, that's when you get the permit, if he brings that paper, after he brings the
Yes.
paper, all right.
That's what I told him, that once he brings that, we'll be able to.
Any other discussion on that? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Next item on the agenda is travel trailer permits.
Traveling trailers, no.
Next item on the agenda is manufactured home permits.
This
We got
one is.
102 Second Court.
This is for Ms. Morales.
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, everyone.
My name is Inés Morales.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, 102 for, manufacturer. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
Well, we can go out of order, y'all already up.
Yeah, it's that these are buildings.
Yeah.
These are buildings and then we're doing manufacturing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. This is for, see, así, usted puede quedarse, señora. Sí, es que we're doing building first. and also and then
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
Okay.
buenas tardes a todos. Buenas tardes a todos.
Buenas tardes.
Mi nombre es Inés Morales. Vengo con mi esposo Miguel Morales, Jordan Morales y mi hija Jessica Morales, que me va también a entrevistar. Yo vengo por el motivo de que el jueves llamé aquí a la señorita secretaria, Yuli, haciendo una pregunta acerca de que si tengo que pagar permiso por destruir y reparar mi casa, que fue muy dañada por el huracán Betty el 8 de julio.
¿Quiere que traduce esa parte?
Sí.
She came in Thursday and asked me about paying a permit to rebuild because of the tree that fell on her house for Hurricane Beryl. I told her that she would have to come in and pull a permit because she said that they took down half of the home and they're gonna rebuild half of the home. So I told her that I wouldn't be able to approve that would have to come through council and see what I need to do in this process.
Well, the thing is, we want just to repair, because the house, it was already, with the tree. So that's why we're requesting permission. The thing is, I don't think we have to request permission to repair our home because of the hurricane. So, but we want to follow the rules, so that's why we came to ask permission to repair our home because of the damage of the Hurricane Beryl.
She didn't, I wasn't aware of them repairing it. The way I understood is that they knocked down half and that they were gonna rebuild it again. That's why I told her they have to come through.
It's the rocket.
Yeah, the one, yeah.
The only thing that the law requires is that if it's the most substantial damage, if it costs you more than 50% of the damage to your house than what it's worth, if it's not up to code, you have to bring it up to code because you went below that. So, but I mean, that house is not that old.
Well, we finished building on 2020. So it's like a.
But is it out of the water?
Excuse me, sir?
Is it above the flood zone?
Yes.
I mean, that's the only thing that would, the substantial damage part of it is FEMA, and I just got through reading where FEMA would,
Well, it's already.
kicking people out
what,
of the
excuse me?
system.
No,
You gotta come back, you gotta comply.
Did they get, I'm not trying to be nosy, but did y'all get any FEMA money to help repair? Okay, so FEMA already come out and approved for y'all to get the money, so if they already got the money to repair it, then it should be repairable.
Right, but evidently, yeah, it is repairable, but I mean, the substantial damage part of it says that if it was below, if it was too low and they need to elevate it, need to come up with the standard.
It's already elevated.
But the 40 huge time.
It's already.
All you gotta do is get the money.
Pretty much cut dry.
So that's why it was kind of weird to come out and say we need.
Well, the substantial damage is the only thing she'd have to ask that, I don't know, she hadn't been around it. But that's what's required by FEMA and for floods and insurance or anything.
Yeah.
But if you already put it up there.
Yeah.
You did right, Jim.
Ahí me continúa. Yo hablé y la secretaria me dijo que yo tenía que pagar $100 por permiso, ¿verdad? Ella tenía que seguir las reglas conforme tiene el papel de reglamento de construir. Y le dije, yo no voy a pagar porque voy a reparar mi casa. Pues en el pasado le dije que cuando estaba la otra secretaria, cuando yo reparé mi casa, ella dijo que no necesitaba yo permiso.
So, do you want to translate that?
Yeah, I think what she's talking about right now, ma'am, is that, she don't feel obligated to pay $100.
We can't hear, please.
Because all she's doing is repairing her home.
I did tell her
Yeah.
that I wouldn't know if she was gonna have to get charged or not, that's why she had to come
Yeah,
in.
I mean, that's a good thing,
That's
you're
what I
coming
told
over.
her.
Yes, that's good.
No, that's
That's
awesome,
good.
that's great. And our answer is, you do not have to pay.
Okay.
Okay.
You do not
That's
have to
good.
pay.
Fix your home.
Fix your home, you get the money to it,
Y lo del septic también dijo ella que tenía que pagar 300, que se buscaba un inspector que modificara, pero está funcionando adecuadamente. Ya fue Mr. Dávila con el señor Biel a limpiar el séptico y estaba bien.
So there's no damage to the septic tank. She was wondering if she had to inspect it or not. I mean, if it's.
Because it just got pumped out. It was just pumped out, after barrel, because, Bill that came out with the septic pump out, she was one of the houses that got pumped out. And that was after the hurricane, and they said if they found anything that was not working properly, that they would refer us to get it fixed, which they had to use the house on his side, so that was my understanding. So he said that theirs was fine or something.
That's everything I want to make sure of.
Yes, her septic tank was, everything was up to code, but there was one person on Creekside when, Bill and his crew came, their septic tank was not up to code. Well, it was up to code, but it was, when he had a company come out and clean it, their septic tank leaked or something, so, the Galveston, and I forgot what their name is, the program is Galveston and Houston or whatever it was.
Houston Galveston Area Council.
Yeah. When they came out, he told him that what they were gonna do for his septic tank, since it was still leaking, they were gonna go ahead and fix his septic tank, and then they were gonna pump it out, fix it for him, and get him all, fixed up. It was one of the residents of Creekside. But when they came out to do Mrs. Morales' property, hers wasn't leaking or anything, so her septic tank was good, and everything. But, one thing, they said that when, they did, Gloria, Luna from, United Way, said that they couldn't help her with the trailer because one of the reasons was because when Hurricane Beryl happened, they weren't called out to come help Holiday Lakes. The only ones that were out here, I believe, was Red Cross and, I don't know, Salvation Army came out here. Did they come out? They did, okay. They said that United Way wasn't called out here, so that's why United Way could not help Ms. Morales and his family. They said, as soon as if FEMA doesn't help them anymore, and she exhausts all her avenues, then maybe, Gloria said they can probably help her with, something that, that's the reason that, United Way couldn't help her with materials and stuff. I'm trying to see if, I can try to help her, get Lowe's to donate some material for her. So hopefully we can get Lowe's to donate some material for her. And then, I'm gonna need to see, if we can get some, people that can do some pro bono to help her build her, to fix the her trailer or house, whatever it is, for her and help them out with that, and that's what we're gonna try to get.
Did you, contact, Samaritan's Purse?
We did, and they said right now they already have so many people that they're helping, they can't do anything right now for them. So, I did contact them, but, my next step is trying to see if we can get, some contractors, somebody that can do pro bono and help them, and see if we can get that. I've been trying, I've been talking with her, but like I said, they're gonna have to get a letter from FEMA and say that FEMA can't help them anymore, and then maybe Gloria can try and help them.
That they got money for FEMA.
Yeah,
She did.
They did, yeah, but they're gonna have to do it again and go to FEMA. And
that's for food.
Yeah.
That could be for other things also. It depends on what you apply for. You can get it for food, you can get it for, anything that was destroyed on your home, tree falling on your fence, if you had to repair that, if you had to pay somebody to come in. If you apply for that, they may.
Okay.
So hopefully Lowe's will come through. I should know something in a couple of days and see if they can help you with some material.
Home Depot.
Yeah.
I always had better luck with Home Depot.
Yeah, because a while back Lowe's helped me out with some material for some people. So hopefully, they'll come through for her.
Muchas gracias, pero ahorita ya, ya lo estamos, preparando.
Alright, so the next one, second court, 102 second court? Okay, so TCAQ approved their septic, Gloria?
Yes, ma'am. The mayor requested for them to have a engineer, and it's this paper in your.
Yeah, I seen that while ago.
It's a setup of how they're doing it, because they're gonna work with close by the lake. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So, it was requested for it to come through council, so we have all the paperwork for them to get the permit. All they need is to get their meter, water meter to be installed, but they haven't been able to schedule that yet. But I think they're waiting for that, the trailer that's over here in 102.
Yeah. They have to have the permit before they'll come and set it up.
The permit to move on, okay. And TCEQ submitted the permit to us, correct? Okay.
They have everything, but it was requested to come through here.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the manufactured home at 102 Second Court.
Is that for a new system or?
Ma'am?
I'll second.
Okay. Motion is made by Lisa, seconded by Lorenzo to approve the manufactured home at 102 Second Court. Any other discussion? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Ayes, got it. They can buckle it together now, I guess, if they hadn't already.
And install the meter.
So when would he be able to get like a
I
copy
think
of?
there's a meter already installed. I think that meter that other house has got belonged to your house, and there was nothing there, and I don't know when or if it was done, but it looks like that meter was on your property. So what we said we'd do, we'd just go ahead and put a new meter, put a meter in for the house, take your meter out, put it over there, put the new meter on use, because this guy's already been paying off of that meter, and then you'll have yours on your side, and he'll have his, he'll have the same meter as his. But I think that meter that was actually belongs to your house, because it's on your property, or real close to your property.
It's, yeah.
And I don't know when they did that, but years ago, before my time.
So once, since it's been approved, they can get a copy of the permit and everything tomorrow? So they need to send it to the manufacturer home, so they'll come back out and set everything up and do what they need to do. So they can come get a copy of it tomorrow too? Any questions? Okay, thank you.
It's not my business, but are they gonna fix that pad for that trailer better than what they have it on?
They would come out there and redo the pad and look, well, they have to.
Yeah, I think they still got a little more work on it.
Okay, cause I'm just concerned.
I'll let them know. I'll give them a call.
The thing was
For y'all.
with getting him to come out and put where the septic tank was gonna be, now they have to go back in, they'll have to come out and reset the concrete in order for them to put it together.
Okay.
That was the whole thing with getting it approved. So once they seen where it was sitting, because of the way it is right now, they're gonna have to probably pour more, so. they'll have to fix it.
I just, for
No,
them.
because that's what I told him, he don't want it to fall over.
Yeah, cause that's what it'll do if it's like it is.
So,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Like Sarah's trailer. Kind of like Sarah's trailer. That I'm waiting. Yeah.
Any questions? Minutes?
I read it last time.
I think it's starting to get wore out. That's killing the tree.
We're leasing it, right? Yes, and, the lease is supposed to be over, you have to, give a 30-day notice, which will be November the 1st, because it ends November the 8th. And depending on, I made a copy for, a new person, which her name is Tuesday, and there's, one that, Canyon, is it HP or Canyon, or HP? And then I also got a proposal for Xerox, which is, she's a new distributor. Yeah, she's new to it, so she just got handed our, leasing stuff, and she's willing to help us with anything that she wants, but she gave us, also new information for the year. So I have two of them. I have for Tuesday and one for Xerox.
Does that include the ink with it, or is that just straight out rental?
No,
So many copies, or?
We will be the same, with Xerox, it will be the same. It will be what we have, it's just, it's gonna be a new machine, different, updated, yeah.
Did you by chance get a quote from ICOS in Angleton?
No, I didn't, but I can.
Yeah, cause they're just right down County Road 44, and I know, when we were renting in Kingsbury, they supplied our ink. And so, I mean, I think it was just a little bit more expensive than Xerox, but it balanced out. It was a machine, yeah, in copies, if they don't charge you for the copies. Okay, so I'll make a motion, I'm still looking for my,
What are you looking for?
my financial, I think I just found it, the bank statement. Too much, as I said, I won't kill no more trees. Okay. Oh, I think we need to make a motion for the minutes though, don't we? Yes.
Yeah, number 6.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular council meeting of August 2024, and special meeting of September 12th, 2024, and the regular meeting of September 17th, 2024, with the correction on August 2024, recorded members present and established quorum that council member Terry Mitchell be added to, who was present at that meeting.
You missed a special meeting.
Yeah, I thought you missed two. You missed two meetings? There's one. Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion is made by Terry Mitchell and second by Kay Young to approve the minutes of August 2024, and September 12th, 2024 meeting with the correction. He was here on August 2024. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion on it? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay.
I make a motion we approve the pending bills and actual disbursements for August of 2024 as presented.
Motion been made by Denise Cook, seconded by Kay Young to approve the pending bills and actual disbursements for August 2024 as committee. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
He has one
Just
question.
one question, Chair, made out to Cider.
Cider? Are you talking about Ray? The one that-
No, not Ray.
Zeta Gomez, it's the chairs and the table.
For the chairs.
The chair and the tables.
Cheers.
The chairs.
Chairs is what's that?
She sold them
Anything else? Okay, so, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay.
On this, can I make a suggestion? I mean, we're killing trees. I don't need, I know in the past, because we've had some issues, I requested that we get copies of all the checks that had cleared the bank. And information from the bank. I mean, we already get a bank statement. It already has the check number. It already has the amount of the check on it. The only thing is, I asked Julie earlier today, if we have a question about a check and the amount that it is, that she could pull it up and show it to us. Because, oh my gosh, 1,500 sheets of paper? You know, come on. And like I said, if we have a question, we can ask about the checks. It's just we had an issue there for a while, and that's why at that time I requested copies of the checks. So just my thoughts. The other thing is I did want to stress to everybody about the money that we have in tax pool, which is the grant money. We are making about $3,231 a month on that money that's in the tax pool. So, interest, yes, it's interest. So we're trying to make money as we spend money.
Yes.
So we just want y'all to know that that's the grant money that's in that account at this time. So, we are spending wisely, but we are wanting y'all to know where the money's going also. So anyway, I just want y'all to know that we did invest in tax pool, and so we are making money.
Is that money being able to be used in case anything does happen?
Yes. Yes, it is. Some of it. That's
Yeah,
what,
because you
if
to
we
keep
have
a
an
certain-
emergency.
Yeah, you have to keep a certain amount in there to keep creating interest, but the money that you made off of the interest, that's the money you're able to pull out. That's what I was asking.
Correct.
Okay. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Police report.
Did y'all vote on the bills? I know y'all motioned, but did y'all actually vote on it?
Yep.
We can y'all want to do the court one? Please,
I gotta find it. Some of it's got rough one.
Oh, God, he can read. This report,
Yes, sir.
you read it.
Quote Jay Harris, for our vehicle mileage, we got 730.5 miles. We use 20.5 tanks of gas with a total of 30 calls for service, 1 call for public service, 1 for disturbance in progress, 8 animal calls, 1 discharge of a firearm, 3 follow-up calls, 4 ambulance calls, 1 deadly conduct, 2 civil issues, 1 juvenile call, 3 close patrols, 3 traffic stops, 1 walk-in, and 1 negative.
So how much does that create revenue for y'all? Hey.
How much is it?
Once we write the tickets, we're done with it.
That goes through the judge.
We don't generate revenue.
That amount come back straight to y'all, or do they keep a percentage of what y'all?
It's split up.
Is that weekly, monthly?
This is for the month. This is for the month of August.
Oh, it's a monthly?
Yes, sir.
So three citations for that month?
Okay.
3 traffic citations. That doesn't include city ordinances.
How many of those we got out?
I could bring the folders out and show you. It's a stack about like this.
I'm one of them participants.
Okay. Municipal court violations by type, it says, traffic 0, penal code 0, city ordinance is 26, parking 1, other, and for 27 total. The financial state fees were $111.60, court costs were $32.60, fines were $368, tech fund was $8, building security was $9.80 for a total of $530. No warrants. FTAs, I don't know what that is.
Failure to appear. Failure to appear.
Next copy.
FTA, failure to appear.
Failure to appear, okay.
There's a lot of those.
BPTAs, I don't know what that is. Depositions, 0. Trials and hearings, 0. That's it. Everything up there at the top. You already talked about the fax machine, right?
We're talking about it.
Okay, well, any other public comments, you already should be commented out. Anybody got a comment? You don't like what we did?
So just a quick question, like all the tickets, stuff like that, the revenue you'll send the yellow field, is there a way that we could look at them? I mean, or y'all know where it's going? Like the money that for the tickets, stuff like that, you see y'all receive them, right?
Oh, the ticket money?
Yeah. Like citation tickets, stuff like that. Y'all say y'all don't see them, but I mean, you should be able to see them, right? I mean, y'all, yeah, that way you know how much is coming back.
You know, we're not making no money off of it. We only got.
No.
Sabrina, can you explain that to them about the tickets, the revenue, how it's, where it's broke down to? Like, a certain part goes to the state, this goes to.
So for instance, when you have a ticket and the total fine that you have to pay is $165, 81 of it is for the city. Everything else goes to the state. And of that city, it is broken down into different little areas. So technically, we only get maybe a third of each of those tickets that are written. And the other thing is, if you guys come to court, did the payments actually come to us? So you can come to court, plead guilty, we actually pay for it. That's what you need to determine.
Does the city actually get a third? I mean, I know the state gets a big chunk. They get a very big chunk.
Yeah,
All
most
right.
of our tickets, most money goes to the state.
It does.
So if you get a ticket up here on County Road 30, we don't get it.
We don't
Right.
get that, but we're working on that. But can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Okay, so, y'all very ready?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give you a for instance, okay, so we wrote a ticket, they paid it. By the time they came in, by the time they sat with the judge, she lowered the fine. And whatever they paid, the city got $19 out of that. That's
Not
it.
all 19 is for the city,
And then
part
you-
of that.
Yes, and then you have to split that $19 between whoever it goes to, so. I mean, it's not like we're out there making.
Hey,
it.
hey, so honestly, is it worth it even giving tickets?
Well, if we don't give you tickets, then y'all just gonna run rogue, man.
No, I mean, let sheriffs come in here, you know, let them write some tickets, I mean, they're the ones who make it more important, you know?
It's costing us more than half,
You're on the-
what we getting in return.
You ought to be over there on Creekside at about 4 o'clock in the morning. She goes out to get her vehicle to go to work. I've got a camera,
Go ahead and go.
and you'll hear.
I agree with you, they do that.
Yeah, 4:30 in the afternoon too.
It's all hours of the day, and there's no one to fight them.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so we,
Well, we want to do
you
something.
gonna go to the copier or not?
Yeah.
We can speak.
Use your discretion.
You want another quote?
You can speak.
Julie, how many quotes you got for the printer? I have to copy.
Yeah, get one more from
One more,
IC,
okay.
ICOS, ICOS.
BCO, is it?
No, ICOS on 44.
44?
Yeah.
And then, so we'll just table it now, and then you can, we got till the end of November?
We have until the end of October, because on the first, we have to give orders.
So the next-
That, or
For the next meeting.
depending on who's staying with Xerox or if we're going with.
I ain't been impressed with that Xerox, we got, I'm tired of the evidence, enormous,
Get one more, sure. I mean, y'all use it every day, we don't. That's, I make a motion, Norman, I make a motion that you and Julie and Sabrina make that decision to who to go with for a copier. Because like I just explained to Julie, y'all use that thing every day.
You know,
And y'all know what's working and what's not working. I mean, the police officers.
pick out one that we ain't gotta unjam all the time.
And is reasonably priced.
yeah, they got, IBM did the service that,
Yeah.
they told them.
All right. Let's
I'll
move on.
second it.
Name. How many yeses are you with all of us? All of y'all?
Yes.
You gonna leave it up to us?
Yeah.
Yes. Is there general consensus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything for executive session?
You gotta patrol that.
Anybody got any reports?
No. Oh, I'm just gonna say, all these nice gentlemen that gave me their numbers and their phone number, their address and their phone numbers, I'll be in contact. And we'll have a meeting up here and we'll get together and we'll get a plan together.
We'll make all the mistakes right here.
There you go.
You just don't know what you got
Good
into.
for that.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah, is that what?
Hey,
Would y'all think I wanted to speak?
I was going to speak, but.
no, go ahead. Make number,
Well, I'll just say this, most of the reserves, we don't get paid, right? We're required to come out here a set number of days. I already done my days, I'm still out here. Last month, there was a complaint about people speeding down the bus, speeding past the buses or whatever, and I said, well, maybe y'all need somebody here at 5 a.m. So somebody suggested, well, why don't you come out? So guess what I did? I came out. Miss Robin, she was here earlier, she's one of the bus drivers, she knows. So we come out here, I mean, we're serving y'all, we're trying to do everything that we can. It's just that the revenue side of things is holding us back from, you know, I guess a motivating factor for these officers to work harder and then for us to actually be able to do something and generate a change. So I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you.
Initiative.
Hey, so then, like you said, I mean, can we change, instead of having y'all during the day when there's really nobody out here, can we have y'all change to where in the mornings, in the afternoon, where people are coming in, people are leaving, instead of just when there's nobody here, do it like it's dead, really, out here during the day?
You need to be out here during the day.
You're right.
I'm just.
I understand.
I mean, a lot of people are leaving at 5 in the morning. I mean, you really want to create revenue in the morning.
But if you lived on Creekside, or you lived up here on Lake Drive, or someplace where they get a good run at it, then you'd get to see, but you live on a side street, so you don't get to see all the speeders, but they do come by.
Oh, you don't want a good run on Lake Drive.
No, you're bottom out, terribly off.
But 3 tickets in a month, I rode 81 in a week. It was asked by city council to slow down.
We should come out of retirement. I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it, go back to school.
Thank y'all for coming. Thank everybody. We appreciate y'all.